Hello everyone and welcome back to Dungeon Delvers, the channel of geeky people who delve deeper into the realms of Dungeons and Dragons. Woo! We are joined with the cast of the Icewind Dale run with Frostmaid once again, -1 unfortunately, but who knows who shall come in for the realms of Dungeon Delvers in the short term. But for now we have obviously our main cast. Everyone say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Jackal is still here under his banner of destiny.
Oh, for sure.
And if anyone fancies doing some character art for Jackal, I mean, this is just a placeholder. Feel free.
I seriously thought it's like, if anyone fancies Jackal.
If anyone fancies a bit of halfling,
We'll do a blind date.
we'll do a blind date for Jackal. Do you like me? Otherwise, I'm gonna kill you.
That was great. That was.
I'm half your size, but it's the size down there is where it counts, boy.
We can talk about the cat talk, but let's not go into that because that's just anyway. We appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscribes on our channels. Go and visit Dungeon Delvers with a Z on Instagram. Go and like us here and follow us and do things and subscribe on the bottom of this page because at episode 27, why wouldn't you? That is my answer to your question. I mean, a few episodes ago, I'd be like, please do it. But right now, it's just taking the piss. You might as well. If you haven't clicked the button.
You're just being fucking rude.
Yeah, if you haven't clicked the button, then what's going on, mate? You know, just come on, just give us a subscribe. Anyway, it's all gravy to be back, and it's all gravy to see all the nice little things that everyone likes. I should be doing some more content eventually for the thing is I really want to do some more impressions. So if you did like those impression videos, I'm going to do some more when I've got some time. But besides that, that is the only announcement, and we're going to jump into tonight's episode of Jackal. You want to do it? Yeah, you're going to do it.
Dungeon Delvers.
Okay, I was expecting a tap, but you did the thing. So.
Oh yeah, we haven't done.
That's
in a
fine.
while.
I thought you were giving me honours. I thought you.
Do you know what? I did give you honours, and you did it.
You said it.
You went up and beyond the expectation of what I was after, so that's absolutely fine. So, the party began to face the inevitable, and basically face down an entire army of goblins that's set within Karkarock. After defeating the gibbering mouther, which Oakland summoned from the strange egg that Spellix was hoarding within his chambers, that Saya and Oakland were tinkering with, trying to get this thing open, in hopes for some treasure, maybe? I
don't know what we were expecting.
But, yeah, that happened. In separate parts of the camp, the party members, with Spellix's help, managed to make waste of more than half the goblin camp quite easily, using all their spells, fighting techniques, and might. A final bout of a new horde of goblins appeared from the mountainous encampment accommodation on the south side of the camp, surprising the party as they were split up, managed to do some damage to Saya, Oakland, and Salvation, amongst other members, as they were trying to fend them off. Meanwhile, a large wolf, who they encountered on the way into Karkarock, who was guarding the entrance, now became curious and started running towards the camp to join the fray. As well as the invisible Spellix opening the gated entrance, which stirred some trouble. The party kept fighting and fighting, but became overwhelmed as the third time Salvation was knocked to her knees. Her weak, unstable form, the mountainside gave way, slipping away from Oakland's hand, falling to her fate over the mountainside and into the mist. Gone. After Oakland's form summoned a dark, shadowy power that grappled one of the goblins and completely decapitated it. The rest of the party, enraged, now fighting for the rest of their lives, losing one of their friends, now determined to win. We pan out of our action last episode with Sentry face to face with a large wolf staring back at him.
Ooh.
And that is where we left off.
Right.
I will open it up as we left off. Just describe to me, Sentry, what you did last time. You did something with a goblin, I remember.
Yeah, so I'd presented the goblin corpse in front, and the wolf came up. I got the 20 performance when it got there with me presenting it, and now it's there. and that's where we left. I think you were saying that it was taking interest of the goblin, but
Absolutely. So, as you're standing there, Sentry, and things are a little bit quieter. And in fact, just make a quick perception check. Just everyone. Just in this very moment, in this beat that we've got in this scene.
21. 24. Why is that to
Oh, you
just...
need to turn your whispers on. Off. Sorry, I'll turn it on.
How do you do that?
I'll do it for you.
I'm trying to find that battle music that we used last time.
should be on Coach Shoot Clue probably.
I'll do it for you.
I found
How
it.
do you do that?
I found it for when the battle continues, or whenever the battle continues. Because there's still a shit ton of goblins.
There you go. Cool.
Okie dokie.
So, and I just need Jackal. Did you roll the perception?
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
No problem.
I've got 25 on smell and
Anyone? Okay,
hearing.
Everyone who rolled above a 16.
Peak for Saya.
Damn it!
Although you get advantage with smell, so
Yeah, and hearing.
and hearing.
And hearing.
So this is predominantly a hearing perception, not a sight perception.
Okay, good. So 25
So
then.
I would say everyone hears this. So in the distance, just outside the encampment, you can hear scrambling of wood and like jumping down on kind of like small footsteps, kind of like clambering down. And you assume, you with a high enough intelligence, that the goblins outside are possibly fleeing
Oh, fleeing. Ooh.
or leaving their encampment on the top of their outpost.
Are we still doing turn order, or is this free?
This is, for now, this is just a bit of a stalemate. So we're not necessarily in combat, because there isn't any combat going on.
Yeah, not yet.
It is
I don't think we're out
the
yet.
Winter Wolf's go. And Sentry, as this wolf is kind of like one foot after another, kind of walks a little bit towards the goblin, does that, sniffs the corpse of this goblin you've presented it with. It kind of takes one look at you and lowers its head down and places the goblin within its jaw.
Nice.
And then you look at it, and it looks back at you, and kind of you can see it, especially with that perception. You can see it taking stock around you. So, almost like you would imagine like a cornered wolf, kind of like looking left and right and understanding its surroundings. It swiftly turns around and is about to bolt. Are you doing anything as it's going to leave?
No, I'll let it go.
Okay. So I will say for this, and just for the instances of this, everyone at this point, because we've taken a beat, you can see the huge form of this wolf just start scuttering down the rampart and underneath the bridge as it is about to exit. Jackal, it's going past you, I believe. You're prone.
I am, yeah.
And Athena sees this. You all see this now. And I will say, if you guys want to do anything, I mean, this is now going to be either a surprise round, or you can just explain what you're doing. It is running for the gate.
Saya will just walk up next to the sentry. Almost forgot your name. That was close. What's your name again?
Original.
And he'll be like, "What exactly did you just do?"
The beast just merely doesn't know what it's doing here, so it's free to leave now.
Maybe we could use it somehow. If there's still goblins left, maybe it could team up with us.
I believe yourself and Jackal may be best to talk to it if you'd like. I believe it's a trained beast, but Ruber got along with it. Maybe the two of you can.
Well, it doesn't seem to be bothered about eating its former masters. So, I don't think it has much loyalty. Maybe we can teach it that. And, Saya will then... Would... I don't know if Saya would know where Jackal is right now. No, I don't think Saya would, because he came over here when it was just Sal and Willow. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there. That's what I'm gonna be doing for now.
At this
Just
moment, guys, everyone who rolled above a 20, which is Sentry, Oaklin, and Jackal, you hear little pitter.
Oh, I got 25 on hearing.
On hearing, okay, that's right. So all of you hear it. You hear little pitter-patter of footsteps slowly encroaching the gate.
Yeah, I was going to say, for what I'd be doing is, I left off last trying to find out where Spellix went and trying to get a hold of him. So if this is anything to do with him, then Jacqueline and Athena will be trying to jump on him.
Yeah, okay. So these footsteps are at the bottom of the ladder of the opposite side of the gate, which you saw earlier.
He got bonked by a goblin, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear this, and with that perception, you just about see the scuffle marks in the ice where his position is, and yeah, I'll kind of pop him on for the majority of you. He is there.
Cool. Yeah,
Still
Athena's
invisible, but you can just about guess.
Can we see like a footprint in the snow or anything?
Yeah, because basically this is like an iced over rocky ridge. So the snow is being blown everywhere and the ice is on the floor, but there's nothing to stop that blow of ice and dust just getting knocked by something that's stopping it.
Yeah, it's like sticking to it.
And that's what you see. At this point, the wolf is continuing past at the same time, not taking any notice of it. What would you guys like to do?
Athena's gonna pounce on where she thinks that Spellix is. She's gonna carry on with what she was doing from last session. She's gonna continue trying to get hold of him.
She's got a climb speed of how much?
30 feet.
Okay, that'll get you down. Do you want to, if you want to attack, is it attack or are you just pinning?
Attack, but non-lethal. Don't want to kill him.
Okay, make an attack roll. So
Athena
that's
gets
a
a
straight
10.
roll. So that's at a 10. Just check.
What will happen? Did she get him?
We're about to find out.
Oh.
I don't think you guys understand how many character sheets I had up last game.
We can think.
So, as you go and make that, what's she doing? Just describe how she's doing it, and I'll tell you if it is.
Yeah, so she's currently on the ledge. She looks down and she sees where the footsteps are being left, and she's just going to pounce, trying to figure out where he is, and pounce on that spot to try and pin him down.
Okay, so as Athena kind of like scrambles down very slowly, almost like a stalker in the night kind of thing, and then just jumps on the area, you see just the feet shuffle a few feet away from it as she just lands. And now you see the scuttling of quicker shoes, just like kind of like just running straight towards the door. You can't see it; it's invisible, but you know something's there. Is anybody doing anything? Running
Jackal.
straight towards the door.
Yeah, Jackal would jump down next.
Okay, have you got any climb speed, or are you just jumping?
Just jumping on him.
Okay.
Just go straight jump on him.
If you're going to jump from 30 feet up in the air, I'm going to make you make a acrobatics or... Yeah, make an acrobatics check.
Oh my god, what is with that shit roll?
Okay,
10.
with a 10. You just jump straight off, kind of lunging straight towards that area as you try and take yourself, and it's almost like you're aiming for a figure and then trying to do like a roll to save you from the fall, because 30 feet is quite high. You jump down, you get on your elbow, you literally elbow first and try and like tackle this figure as you kind of just literally just hit solid floor. One sec.
Jackal, I think.
You go down.
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's fine.
as you hit the floor, but you hit it pretty hard.
That was simultaneous.
While this is going on.
Simultaneously.
Yes.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Go on.
Oh, okay. I was gonna slide down as soon as I saw Athena, like jump down on it, because obviously we heard what.
Yeah.
We all heard it.
I'm
Can I slide down this?
Yes.
Is this like a slope?
I'm treating this as a surprise round, so everyone can do something if that's okay, if you want to do something. So Athena's had a go. Jackal's done something. Spellix is technically gone in a way, but he's still got his turn. The Wolf is about to go again, but Sentry and Oakland and Saya, you can still do something if you wish in this whole moment.
Yeah. Is this a slope here?
It is a slope. It's not like a gentle slope. It's quite steep. It's still roughly 30 foot in the air, but it's climbable. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll slide down it towards where I saw Athena jump down and try and get.
Make a acrobatics check for me, please. See if you can just wiggle your way down and make sure you don't get hurt on the landing. It's just sliding down the slope. With an 11, again, very similar to Jackal, you kind of slip on the ledge and you slide down on your form, and even in your bigger form, you try and use your claws to like navigate the way, but you hit a few stones on the edge, and you kind of tumble and stumble, and you kind of like flip sideways a little bit and grasp yourself on the floor. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as a rock just slides into your side.
1 damage because I'm in wolf form.
Yes, reduced to 1.
And
but you're on the floor. So I'll take that as movement.
Oh, okay. Dang. Okay, that's it then.
Okay. Sentry, you doing anything?
Yeah.
You still have a bonus action and action if you wanted to do it at that point. So yeah.
Let me
that'll be it.
Let me think of what I'm doing. Chloe, do you wanna?
Yeah, where would I have to be to see it? Because obviously I can hear it, but where would I have to be to see it?
I would say, because this is a ledge, you would be roughly about here where you can just about see it.
Okay.
And we're talking like just in the distance there. You can make out. And I'm assuming one of you guys you point out that there's shuffling there, especially as Jackal
Yeah, and I'll be able to see it.
has just jumped down. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to point in that direction, knowing the location due to obviously the footprints and that. I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Okay. Is that an attack roll or is that a
It
save
is.
throw? We'll
It is a saving throw.
the description. Just want to read it as well.
There you go.
Okay, that's interesting.
Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed a wisdom saving.
That's actually a really good narration voice of it.
Would that pass off?
I'm just checking for you now.
If not, then not to bother.
If not, then fuck.
Then?
Because just to let you know, if you do this is going to be a spell slot. Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, bro. So you go and reach out, and you place your. I'm guessing you place your arm out, or use your. Just describe to me how you enchant this. How does Hold Person work on open?
I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna there's gonna be like a green shimmer to the end of my finger, and I'm gonna draw a circle.
Nice.
I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna throw it like a frisbee so that it like wraps around it. So
Okay. So you
like
kind of
the
get
Big donut.
You see this kind of like green arcane. Is it green? What colour is it?
Yeah, it's like a green frisbee.
Green
with
arcane
the hollow
frisbee
in
just
it.
kind of apparate in the air. You guys see this as she's waving her hands around, and you see it kind of go very similar to Doctor Strange style with the
That's how I imagine
the
some of my
sparks.
spells.
And she grabs it, launches it towards this area, and it just keeps it go and just apparates.
Okay. Wait, it had no effect at all?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, that's me.
Sentry, are you doing anything?
Yeah. Not knowing where Spellix is.
You would
Sentry
hear
roll.
him. You would hear him. You wouldn't be able to see him necessarily from there, but you can hear just the pitter-patter of footsteps. All this is happening within one turn. This is all 6 seconds.
Yeah. He'll just call out.
That's why you reminded me of.
Spellix, It's alright, you don't need to run anymore. Come to us, we'll aid you.
That's cool.
Okay, is that your action?
Yeah.
Make
yeah, I'll call
a
that.
persuasion check with disadvantage.
With this, but I gave him invisibility.
That's an 11.
Cheeky 11. Yeah.
So just- Okay, so you see at this point this is all happening at one time.
Slide down the ledge as well, sorry, as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you're going to slide down the edge?
yeah.
Just make an acrobatics check for me.
Yeah. Am I able to... if I put this flavour on it, am I able to change the way that it goes? Am I able to slide down and use my hand or my blade to help...
That's what I would assume you'd be
my
doing it
strength
anyway.
to, like, pull down into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just using your acrobatic. I mean, if anything, that would possibly change the check. So you're using purely your blade to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to use a little bit brute strength rather than
Okay.
jumping.
Make
really.
a instead of acrobatics, make a. Make an athletics check. Why not?
Yeah, hell yeah. Wicked. I'm going to say that I'm probably not raging anymore because it's been a couple of seconds, hasn't
Yes,
it? So
is, yeah. And you haven't did
yeah.
well, technically, if you take damage, I mean, it stays up. So
but it's fine. I'll just say yeah. Since you gave me that, yeah, 18.
18. Yeah, you successfully use your blade and just kind of grind the way down. As you've just seen Sayer fall over his face and just land on a rock, you kind of like maybe just act a bit more cautiously and grind your way down. Yeah, you're at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that'll be all my movement and stuff to get down there. So yeah, I can just call out. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, you've called out and you've done that. The pitter patter becomes quieter and quieter as. Just gonna wait a second. As you hear it move further and further away. At the same time, the wolf is now through the gate. As all this has happened, it's kind of dodged out the way of all this action and kind of started to go into a bit of a run, running straight towards the exit. At the same time, you guys see all the goblins now. They would have made it just out the reach of their outposts. And you can see them now. Jackal, you can see them if you're poking your head up. Oh, actually, no, you're on the floor now. So you would be roughly here with Athena.
Yeah.
You would see basically in the distance some small figures just literally packing what they've got and just legging it, just running straight away from you. As well as the wolf at the same time. I mean, at this point, it's now. Are you guys doing anything, or are you letting them go?
Have we lost?
Letting them go. Still trying to keep an eye out for Spellix.
Okay.
Still trying to watch it.
Make another perception check. Just see where it is. But at this point, it would probably be disadvantage. But you've got humanoid sense, so.
Can I do one as well?
Goblin. Yeah, you can do.
Yeah, no, it's not goblin or.
Yeah,
or
you just make a straight roll, Jackal. And
cool.
Sayer, you make a straight roll as well. But advantage.
Yeah, I want to see if I can hear his footsteps.
Yeah, so you get
anything.
advantage of that.
Yeah. So,
And I will
Perception.
also, if I can, be mounting Athena.
Okay, you can get on Athena at this point as well. We're not in a turn order necessarily. This is just one kind of action after another. Okay. With a 21, you definitely see him scamper away as the same footsteps are just in the distance. As the wind's blowing over this kind of like rocky ledge, you're kind of like looking left and right, trying to see past the goblins where they are, past the wolf where he is, and you kind of like looking, and you just about see these small kind of like indents in the snow and rock, and you assume it's him.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to point that out to Athena, and then sort of dig my heels into her side and go, yeah! And try and chase after Spellix.
Yeah, okay. You can obviously move Athena's movement speed for that. So you could probably get to Spellix. I would say the rest of your movement was to get on.
Yeah, because it would be half to get up off the floor, then half to get up on Athena. So that would be all my movement. And yeah, as soon as Athena feels like she gets a chance, she's going to take another non-lethal bite.
Okay, make a attack roll.
Am I allowed to move with them since I'm right next to Jack when I saw him run?
You can move with them, but you can't see or smell him at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Just move your movement speed, so that's 30 feet, I believe.
So that's I was there. Sorry.
Yeah.
30 feet. That was 30 feet. Okay, good. I was right. Thank God.
Ooh, 16 for Athena.
16. So you literally go for the second bolt, and you literally whack on Athena. You go straight in. You tell Athena exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Her fangs come out and just grab the air as she literally. It's this weird sensation of you see her teeth make impact, but there's nothing there, and then it's effectively just blood just over the side. But if you're not doing it lethal, I would say that's
just
hard.
be like, Diego from Ice Age when he picks it up. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
like in between.
Just like grabbing him, holding him in place.
I would still say he gets caught, so it's not going to take any damage. But for flavour, it does stumble him up. You just see this kind of like edge of blood from where he's been damaged before, just dripping on the floor from where he's just been picked up, and you can now see this weird like Athena's mouth is open and kind of like grab the side of his kind of chest area, and you can just assume that's where Spellix is.
Beautiful. And then Athena with him tightening his jaws is going to Peruzzi back inside. Jackal would have dismounted as well, and he's going to walk and he's going to try and feel for another part of Spellix and just hold tightly onto him.
Okay. I would say it wouldn't take you long to figure that out because literally it's within her jaws. Hold on, let's just see what he would do.
Funny note as well, the egg's still following me.
It absolutely is, yeah. You don't
It's still
How long
following
does that
me.
last? Just a matter of
It's
interest.
open. It's an hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
God damn, that thing is just like, what was the purpose of this egg?
It's alright, we can still study it.
We didn't get shit out of it. I thought it was going to be the key for
It's fine, we got a terrifying monster.
Yeah, we took
It's
care
like
of
a
it.
Kinder Surprise, but we got the nasty one.
There are nasty Kinder Surprises?
Yes, they're absolutely.
Do you know Happy Halloween?
No.
Okay, so at this point, you just basically see Athena's jaw. Is she coming back in? Is she going the opposite way?
Yeah, she's dragging Spellix basically back inside, opposite way, away from the goblins and stuff.
Okay.
Back in towards the others.
I would say at this point, the goblins have pretty much made their way more than 60 feet away from you now. And also the wolf is starting to head away as well. But you do hear straight away as Athena grabs onto this small form of, you assume it's Spellix. He goes,
Okay. Let me go.
No, we gave you your chance. You're staying right here until you fucking explain yourself.
I was making a run for it. Everything was going weird. I'm trying to get away. Why are you stopping me?
Because
Well,
you
no,
still
that's
have
what
your end of the deal.
get you. And he kind of like just gets a bit frustrated. Yeah.
You promised us
yeah.
you wouldn't do this. This is your fault.
He's still invisible for the turn.
Just out of curiosity, isn't it when you get damaged?
It is, and I was about to say.
Yeah, when he'd be like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, he comes out.
I was about to say, because you did non-lethal damage, it's different. It's difficult because you didn't try to damage him.
Technically different.
But I will say for the ease of this, and probably just for narrative purposes, as soon as you kind of you come around and start grabbing whatever his costume is, the appearance just you see from where you grab his shoulder, just you see this cloak of just invisibility just drop, and you just see his battered face, where he's taken some previous damage from the fight. With the helmet off now, and you can see the rock gnome Spellix is in your grasp.
Beautiful. Yep, Fina is basically going to drop him right at the front gate. So then the whole group can sort of gather around. Jackal is going to draw one of his swords and put it up to Spellix's throat. And he's going to say,
Right, it's time for you to start talking.
He kind of like looks around and goes,
I mean, we've been talking for hours. What do you want to know exactly?
Why would you run away? That would have ruined our deal. The whole point of us
I was going
stick it up.
I was going to wait down I was going to wait for you at the base of the mountain. I'm not stupid. I was trying to get away from this all.
You could have stuck with us, please.
yeah, make an insight check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same as well. Actually, fuck it.
Okay.
Might as well.
Insight check.
I'm also, while this is happening, I'm going to send a message to Jackal and then to Sentry straight after, so you'll get the same message. We've got a bit of a situation. Sentry, I believe, is already aware, but Jackal's salvation, she won't be coming with us anymore. And then that'll be the end of my message.
see. Well, Jackal's attention was very fixated on Spellix, and you see quite an unusual reaction from him as he sort of cocks his head slightly and turns around and in silent speech to you.
What do you mean?
I will reply back. She's like leaning against the. How tall are these?
30 feet.
Ridges?
Oh,
no, like
the ridge is 5
yeah,
feet.
like the ridge.
But
5 feet.
probably just over me near the size of you.
Yeah, she'll be probably kneeling down, like just resting. She's pretty battered. And she will reply saying, "Well, salvation. I'm sorry, Jackal, but she fell off the cliff." And she'll just hug herself in a way and just watch.
Jackal, the overwhelming sense of failure ripples over and through your veins right now. And it also hurts because of the loss of Woober.
Yeah, fuck Sal. I'm joking.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Did I gather anything from that 18 inside check, by the way?
Yes.
14, 10, 18.
Yeah, so with an 18, with what Spellix was saying, you can clearly see he's in a panic state. And you can kind of see a hint of hesitation before he was actually talking to you about waiting. And there's definitely some mixed truths in there.
As soon as Saya kind of catches on to that mixed truth, he's just kind of like put his claw up to his, like, you know how like villains with really long nails like put it up to their neck like that.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like put it out to them, and be like,
He's like this. He's like,
Lorena!
we were friends not long ago. What are you doing?
Running was never part of the deal. Running would have never helped. You know there are more goblins down this path. You would have just gotten killed.
Trying to get away from all this. If you would let me.
It would have been safer if you'd stuck with us.
I took my chances and left. The door was open. I just wanted to go. Trying to leave this place for years.
Saya will then like, because it's like a retractable claw, like shoot, he like retracts his claw, and it's like,
Whatever.
he just gets annoyed and turns away.
Jackal, you deal with them. I can't be asked for this shit.
You see Jackal just standing there, almost like an empty shell. Doesn't reply. Doesn't clock.
Saya will like kind of catch on to that. He'll look over to Obviously, he looks a bit weird, looking really sympathetic in his giant wolf form. I guess it'll look a bit weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, turns to you, goes, "You okay there? Something up?"
Well, what happened up there, Sayer?
Oh, I guess
Got-
you went that way.
You guys were meant to have her back. What happened? Why did she fall?
We were surrounded. We couldn't really do much. Oakland was trying her best to defend her while I cleared the path for us. Fortunately, we didn't do as good as we thought, and she slipped and fortunately fell. We couldn't get to her in time, but we avenged her death. We took out those bastards.
If only there was no need for avenging in the first place.
I know. The only thing was, when Oakland got emotional, do you remember those beastly tentacles that came out of her when we were in the inn? A long while ago. Remember that?
I do.
It was that again, but she seemed to control it. I feel like something's kind of been awakened. I don't know. That might help us, but it's not really a trade-off for Sal, in my opinion.
I was gonna say in the nicest possible way that I really couldn't give two shits about that right now. I've just been told we've just lost Sal, and you're telling me about some tentacles.
I'm sorry. It's just, I thought you should know, since you know Willow quite well.
Deal with that later. Just sort out Spellix.
Yeah, let's get this shit done.
So, Oakland, moving towards the area and looking down to where she fell. With your perception check you made earlier, you can, just as you're walking up, you can see something just blowing within the wind, and it's attached to the kind of edge of the rampart, more so facing towards you, but round the opposite side. You can just see it flapping around. It looks like a bit of fabric.
How far out?
It's literally attached to the rampart where you're at, so it's
Oh,
probably
I'll
like 5
take
feet
it
in front
off
of you,
and have a look.
Just down, so it's kind of, you have to reach over and grab it.
Yeah, I'll reach over and grab it if I can.
Yeah, you reach over and grab it, and you pull it, and you wind it up, kind of thing, and you can reach it, and you immediately identify this as Salvation's jacket or coat or winter clothing. Basically, the base part of the coat.
Okay. She's going to kneel down on the floor, put her hands up like this, hold. She's going to wrap it around her hand.
Yeah.
She's just going to look down and look a bit empty.
The fabric itself is a ripped, torn bit, possibly from a bit of the shoulder or the hood. You can't tell, but it's got blood on it, and it's definitely Salvation's.
Yeah, she'll wrap it around her hand and just keep a tight hold of it.
Okay, you can do that as the wind blows in your face, and the cold feels even more so cold at the moment. As you do.
Okay.
Although
Yeah, she's just going to stare.
strange for you, feeling cold. So you can just stay there as long as you need to. That's fine.
Yeah.
The rest of you, you've still got Spellix in your grasp, almost.
Yes, just whilst they're chatting, I'll have taken out the 1.6 meters worth of shackle and chain.
Yes.
And I'll chain Spellix.
Okay. Where are you chaining him? Just bear
I was
in
going to
mind,
say
he's a gnome. He's very small.
Yeah.
These shackles are human-sized.
Perfect then. It'd be small enough then, because I know that beforehand it was around the neck.
The neck of.
If it's and she was orc size, so
Yes.
fairly large. If able, then to bind his arms together.
Okay.
Two of his arms together. For that, I don't know if, depending on how big or how small he is, either his arms or it being around his waist, chest.
I would say just weighing it up and seeing what you see. Because of the thick nature of his armor that he's wearing, you could probably strap it around his waist to fit. That kind of thing. You wouldn't have to bind his arms, but you could shove his arms in like that, and you could wrap it around his waist, almost like a hula hoop.
Yeah. If we can get it so his arms are in, then that would.
Yeah,
that
you
would
can do that.
probably be
Absolutely, you can do
good.
that. So he's now kind of like strolling there. He's like, "What are you doing? Let me go!"
This is just so that we can keep an eye on you and get you back safe. I fear that you're not meaning to avoid us, looking straight at him. I fear that you're scared, probably more scared, having been around these goblins for so long and adopted some of their traits. But need not be scared of us. Just make sure you don't leave and kill yourself out there.
So as soon as you as soon as you say the word like calm yourself and those reassuring words, he kind of like stops struggling and goes, just kind of takes a big deep breath and just kind of like looks towards you.
All gone.
I was going to look up at Sentry now that he's with us and say,
How are we going to explain this back at the town? Like, another thing that we've done here may actually get us paid. How are we going to explain this to both the air and everyone? This has got a lot different to what we planned.
Well, Spellix needs to end up somewhere, and it's not safe for him to just go out on his own, so he will return with us and speak on what happened so it can be recorded.
Sure. Okay. Oh, I guess we'll just have to wait for Oakland and we'll try and move out. Everyone's okay with that.
Just as a
Jack.
sorry, go on.
Oh, what was I going to say? I was like, split decision. That's right. Jack, if you mean to, then we can take the others back and gain rest at the Master's Hall. If you want to continue setting your mind on the path and dig a place for Wooba like you were before, trying to gain attention.
You would have probably seen that about 2 minutes ago Jackal walked off.
Yeah. So as this small conversation's been happening between you and Spellix, Jackal just starts walking towards the automaton, just very slowly, probably about 20-30 feet away from him.
Okay.
So Jackal, you're probably about here right now. Athena's still got hold of.
So I should have moved myself.
That's fine. Is Athena standing guard or is she following you?
She will stand guard with Spellix, but as soon as she sees me walk away, she will give like a very unsure look.
Yeah.
As if, where are you going? You haven't told me anything, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. She gives you kind of a nudge on the way past with the nose, and you can see her eyes kind of like looking towards the rest of the party, and she kind of gives a very small under the mouth kind of like.
as soon as she makes that noise, I kind of like notice that Jackal's disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna follow him.
Okay.
So like closely behind him.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Do I notice this?
You can. I would say with your passive, you can hear someone behind you. Yeah, especially in his wolf form.
Yeah, I'm a big boy.
Our silent speech in the direction behind me.
Don't worry. Need to take care of something. Just keep an eye on Spellix. Make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
I guess even if he doesn't see, I'll just kind of nod and slowly make my way back and kind of like look behind me as I'm walking away, just because I'm worried about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And go back to Spellix in case.
We'll take him back, say to the Master's Hall where we can rest for the rest of the night, to then head out in the morning. If you're wanting, you can speak to Willow. You can speak to her on more of a level than I can about what's transgressed. My words.
Yeah, sounds good. And then Sayers kind of slowly kind of morph back, like his claws like slowly dig back into his hands, and he goes back into his normal form. Just because as he's kind of decided, yeah, it's all over. There's no point in me being like this anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. The rest of you, yeah, you see the kind of familiar form of Sayer just kind of retract back in with a few snaps and just a kind of like just a weird mystical energy. I mean, just describe how that works again, just for a bit of flavour, given us.
So, like, it's, you know, like in the old werewolf films, you physically see their like faces stretch out,
elongate. Yeah,
like that. It's like it's that, but obviously backwards.
Yeah.
Does the fur go into
probably,
your arm hair or fall off?
I'm seeing it kind of like it like retract. It's all like retracting. Like my claws kind of like they turn back into fingernails. They're like
because
it's kind of like a swirl kind of energy,
yeah,
kind of like an aura coming off of
yeah,
me.
because it's a magical
Yeah.
aura. What I just assume is that you get this kind of like it just kind of like shrinks down and then just kind of just disintegrates off your skin kind of thing. Just
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it like burns, like some like maybe like some of those like fur kind of burns
Yeah.
off, since the main thing is like fire.
Yeah.
Like it's
just like you've just been singed. It's just kind
yeah,
of cool.
exactly.
Perfect.
That goes for like when I'm transforming. I always kind of imagine just like flames around me. Like
Love it, man.
yeah,
That's
anyway.
good. That's exactly what we
Yeah, but because it was kind of hard to tell how my facial expressions while I was like that, you can kind of tell that I'm kind of distraught because obviously I've seen Sal die and shit. And he'll be like, "Yeah, I'll go check on Ogun," and he'll walk past and start making his way back to Auckland.
You can do that.
Actually, where is the best way to go? Actually,
There's the ladder there.
So there's a ladder there. Yeah, you can climb.
was that a ladder? Oh,
Tries to climb up this rope.
I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what it was.
So in front of you, just it's basically a makeshift ladder. It's not like a very nicely, elegantly built wooden ladder. It's just made of bits of bone and shards of metal, and yeah, you could just about climb up it in terms of functionality. But yeah, you can use it.
Yep, I'll hobble up that then, and I guess I could see Oakland from here. Because like she's just across.
As you peek over the edge, you can just see her cape blowing in the wind, just staring into the distance, and you can see her just looking straight down and not moving.
I'll walk up next to her. I guess this is kind of like a. Would there be like a banister or a ledge?
Yeah, so there's a 5-foot rampart. So basically, it's like if you stand on the edge of a castle, you can see the kind of the edge where it would allow archers to fire at. But it's makeshift nonetheless. Obviously, it's made of wood. But yeah, you can see that.
I'm gonna just like lean on it like that. Just put my hands like that.
That's what I'm doing, but I've got like my head like that.
Yeah, fair enough. No, it's the same thing then. I'm just gonna say, how are you holding up?
I don't know.
We're all gonna be a little bit distraught together, but we can't let that get in the way of what we have to do. I know Jackal especially is quite emotional. I'm not quite sure how he found out, but
It was me.
oh,
If I
Okay,
kept
that
it
makes
from
more
Jackal, he wouldn't have forgiven me.
that's fair. He's not a fan of secrets.
No.
I did try and tell him about your tentacle power. You seem to have some kind of influence over it this time, but he didn't want to hear anything about that. He was too focused on stuff.
It's not important, to be fair. I'm
You
not
sure?
really sure what happened, but Sal's what matters at this point.
Sure.
She's just gonna like rub the fabric in her hand.
Okay.
How big is this fabric?
We're talking like maybe a few inches by. It's a rectangular shape, so it's just a torn bit of whatever she was wearing. You can identify it as Sal's coat because you hung around with her for a longer period of time. It's got traces of blood on it and some. It's very damp at the moment, but it's possibly torn from the fall. Or,
I'm gonna say to Oakley, can I see that?
Yeah, just don't lose her, and I'll pass it over to Saya.
yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
He's just gonna look at it and say, "This may look bad at first, but it will help us remember her." And he pulls it in two separate, like equally, like strips,
Okay.
and he ties one around his arm,
Okay.
and then he goes over to Oakland and said, "Would you like one?"
Yeah, do it around my wrist. And I'm gonna pull out my right wrist and
He quickly ties it around her wrist.
The interesting thing is you're tying it round, say it, and you just take a very quick notice of Oakland's skin, and you can see the normal complexion on her fingers and her hand, and then you get to kind of where her arm is, and you can just see traces of almost like it's an inky black tattoo, but her skin is almost kind of discoloured in places.
Saya is just going to ignore it and not bring it up because that's not like she said. That's not what we're talking about. I just saw what you put in chat.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that's good.
This emotional moment. How dare? But yeah, so he has one kind of like, you know how you would like have like a bandage. It's kind of like that
Yeah.
around his arm.
Yeah,
So
she'll put
because
them.
yeah, and then he goes back to leaning and looking out to the distance.
Yeah.
And that'll be my
Yeah,
interaction.
you can just take a beat in this moment, and you're just staring out into the nothingness, and you look to your right, and you can just see littered with corpses of just these frozen dead goblin corpses, and there's no real movement around. You can't hear anything or any other goblins around necessarily, and you can just see around you just the vast scale of where this could go in terms of the hole and the emptiness of below this mountain range.
After I guess like a minute or two of us just kind of sitting there, and I kind of like push myself back up to like standing straight up and goes, "I think we should gather with the others. I think we're thinking of resting soon, just so we're fully revitalized when we move out."
Okay, before we leave, I'll bring Jackal up here, and I'll show him.
Okay, he's
And I'll take.
doing something right now. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I'll take the other little strip for Jackal, and whatever you want to. Do you want me to take the other one for Sentry?
Go for it.
I'll take them, and I'll get up, take a huge breath, and I'll walk towards where I last saw him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll go back down with Sentry.
Yeah, I'll end up going down
Yeah.
whereabouts Sentry is, and I'll look for Jackal because I assumed that he would be there. I wouldn't have known he
Yeah,
moved.
exactly. So you guys make your way back down towards the gate is and the area where Spellix is basically just staying quiet and shuddering in the cold. So as you basically see in the distance, Oakland, we're talking like maybe, because it's now, it's night time now essentially. So all you can see is basically towards your dark vision and whatever natural light is around. And you saw just about a silhouette over to where the exit of, sorry, the cabins where the dining room was.
Okay. I will slowly, very slowly, make my way over. But like, yeah, more of like a, because I'm injured anyway, so I'll be slow, but a very slow pace to allow him enough time.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that. So you start to follow that the silhouette. Is everybody else doing anything while Oakland is walking away?
Yeah, I'll have started taking Spellex, and I'll have looked with Athena to make sure that she's not going to stay out here, and just called her Athena. Athena, don't be out here in the cold.
Okay. Are you bringing Spellex with you tied up?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, Athena comes to your side in recognition. Yeah.
And yeah, I'll start making my way up to the masters, and if Saya comes by, then I'd say let's rest now. Do you want to help me close this door, or use the handle at the top?
I can try and close it with you. It's fine.
And
To the back of it, I
close. Yeah, close the door and head up to the masters area.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, let's go.
So you guys start making your way up. Jackal, whereabouts are you right now? What are you?
So I'm heading up towards the house.
Okay.
And stand by. It's that one.
Yeah. So as you're walking up and you kind of look around, and you can, as you kind of get to the top area of the ramp, which is about 50 feet up, the slight steep, well, the steep slope as you go up, towards where the kind of like turning is, towards one where with the main entrance and the back entrance, you know, the little wooden planks that kind of go between the two. You pass Woober's body. But also you look towards Woober's area where you placed it, and just behind, by one of the braziers that's still lit, you can just about see about 2 or 3 wooden barrels. You'd assume that's possibly where the blubber would be.
Yep, we will start rolling the barrels into the house. And I will put Woober in a convenient position just outside the house, easy enough to pick up and move after.
Yeah, where would you like to put him? He's easy enough to move.
Yeah, literally probably 5 meters away from the front door to the main house.
Okay, so I would say probably about here then, where you are.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys can see this as well. Okay. So you can absolutely start wheeling barrows in. You can do that. They're circular to a degree. Some of them are a bit broken, but you can push them, no problem. But I'll say it'll take you a little bit of time to do so, maybe a few minutes or so.
Yep, we'll just do that for as long as it takes.
Yeah, and at that point, I would say as soon as you start wheeling, I would say your second barrow. Where would you put the first one? Because you get the first one in, I would say that's no issue. Where would you put it?
Around different bits of the house.
Okay, so just in the different rooms, yeah?
Yeah, different rooms, as many as I can to fill the rooms.
Okay, so you start placing one in front of the front entrance where you first went in. You place it against the wall, you sling it, and it kind of like flumps with a bit of a whack, and you kind of turn around, open the door, just take another glance at Woober's body, kind of like hits you in the feels as you walk through and straight past him. And as you do, you can kind of like see just in the distance, as it's taking you a little bit of time, who else was first? So Oaklin, I would say Oaklin starts appearing up the mound towards the top of the Yeah, the slope, which is about here. Followed by whoever's following. I mean, feel free to put your marching order.
I mean, we were going back to them with Spelex, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm assuming Athena's gonna come with us.
Athena would literally stay by Sentry side. So yeah, I'll put Athena there. And Spelex is coming with.
You still got the egg thing following you, don't you, Willow?
Yeah.
And as you guys make your way up the kind of ramp, you kind of step past the blubbering mess that was this Mouther, and you kind of like see its form now is frozen over quite quickly with no life being in it. And as you guys start making your way to the top, Oakland, you see Jackal's form.
Yeah, she'll just hobble her way over.
Yep. All of you are
Hobble,
looking pretty beaten, not like battered, but like pretty. Like you could do the rest. You're all pretty tired.
I'm pretty
Follow, I
beaten.
suppose. Follow.
You see Jackal moving out towards the area. I would say it would be about here, where he starts to go towards the east side of the camp, towards end of the barrel. Are you guys just watching him do it, or are you carrying on?
I'll slowly walk forward like a
Yeah, I'm
10 feet.
clicking.
Yeah. Jackal, you now see all of them.
Yeah, Jackal keeps going.
Okay, yeah.
Still,
So I'd say a few minutes
turn.
pass, if you're just watching and going towards maybe a few seconds, you see Jackal grab a barrow and just kind of like start
Yeah.
rolling it towards the main entrance.
Yeah, I'm just heading in with Spellix since he's getting cold.
Okay, where would you like to go with Spelling?
Into the masters.
The main chambers?
Yeah.
So I would say you can get through the back entrance where the door is now ajar and open, where that's where the dining room is. And as you kind of like tailing him on toe, he's kind of like looking at what Jackal's doing and going,
What is he doing? Why are we still here? Where are we going, Sentry?
You you need to rest your and physically pointing at where he's been cut and
yeah.
possibly has some arrow twig and stuff caught within his
Yeah, he's currently
arm.
looking pretty beaten up in terms of slashes. He's got a big slash across his chest. His eyes are looking a bit kind of like after some certain types of damage. He's got like scars and bruises across his face. He's got bloodshot eyes. He's got a big slash across his chest, and yeah, there is an arrow sticking out one of his sides, just broken off.
I'm fine.
We'll rest here for the night, Spellic, and then we'll make way. I want to ensure to confirm with you. You're a smart gnome. I hope. You seem like a smart gnome. I hope you understand that. We don't place you in this shackles as a way of keeping you out of distrust. I keep you here because I trust that your fear is what will lead you to make the wrong move. And when you sleep, hopefully with a new mindset, you'll understand we're here with you. And I'll take the shackles off when it comes morning.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
It's not like I don't trust you. It's just that our plan was to get out, and now the goblins have gone. I don't see why we should stay here much longer. There is no reason for us to be here. I know it's a nice place to stay, but you can understand my anxiety when it comes to needing to leave.
I understand. But we need to sleep here. So, sleep here we will.
Okay then. As long as you take these off me in the morning. It's just been a long day, I suppose.
He kind of like waddles down, like he kind of like shuffles himself over because he's all tied up, and he kind of just leans against the wall.
Yeah. I'll Sergio will put the shackle, the other end of it, just underneath a piece of the bench. Just lift up the bench, put it underneath.
Yeah.
As
you pick it up, you can see the rotten flesh just falling off. You know, it's all frozen, and you can see it just sliding off the bench. Just slide it under.
And he'll just go to find any kind of bandages to possibly help, or anything that could be used as a kind of makeshift bandage, and any spare food that's around the area as well, to just try and gather it together, so in that way everyone that needs it, when it comes to having the rest, will be able to have it.
Okay, make an investigation check. Check for that. The rest of you, what are you up to while Sentry's dragging Spellix in?
As that was going on, I was gonna go in as well, around this way, and come in and join them to rest.
Okay, so as you're having this short conversation, lift up the table, Saya walks in as well, as you're now looking around for scraps of food and things.
I'm just gonna like flop against the wall, just like bang my head up against it like that, and just close my eyes and try and sleep.
Okay, you can do that, no problem.
Yeah.
At which point I would say Jackal now comes in. Am I right in saying Jackal with another barrel?
Mm-hmm.
You just see him roll this barrel. Say you'd recognise this earlier as the blubber, the whale blubber barrel. Trying to say that really, great. As you roll it in, and it slushes with this kind of like weird oily slick, as it kind of like leans against one of the walls. Do you say anything, Jackal, or are you just carrying on?
Jackal carries on until everybody can find is in here.
Yeah, so you see Jackal in, and you see him leave. Is anybody doing anything as leaving?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm still
searching, so...
So you just see Jackal walk in, place a barrel, and he's left.
I think me and Athena are just like stood there watching, and I'm just having my hand on Athena's head to keep her calm.
Yeah. She's definitely like a little bit concerned, like you can see from a cat's point of view. She's kind of looking backwards and forwards and kind of like twisting her head every now and again, watching this. It's kind of a comical moment at the same time, just watching this barrel just being rolled and his head just following it and just going backwards and forwards like that.
Yeah, I just imagine we stood there watching.
Yeah, she's quite comfortable out as well. She's just sitting there and you can feel the warmth coming off her. And I would say at that point, if we're not doing anything else, Jackal, you finally manage the third barrel and you push it into one of the side chambers within the cabin area.
Nice. Once all the barrels are secure, Jackal will go over to Woober's body, and he will start like trying to wrap up and preserve it best he can from elements, cold, things like that. Just try and preserve the body, and then he will slowly walk inside the cabin. He will also silent speech to Athena to follow.
Okay, so Oakland, you just see Woober's body being prepped with Jackal. He finds bits of cloth, bits of rags, and just starts wrapping it up and trying to preserve the what's left of the body. And you just see Athena just leave. You kind of put a hand on her, and she just goes, and just walks off.
I'll just wobble over after I've seen her leave, I assume, obviously. You know, so I'll just walk after them.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Spellix kind of like, at this point, Spellix is kind of like dozing in and out of sleep as he's exhausted. With that check as well, Sentry, you don't find much in the rooms. You go into Spellix's room itself, and there's a small cot there where he normally sits and probably sleeps. But by the side of it, you find some dried meat jerky, and just besides that, you see some other bits of cloth you'd assume possibly for clothing he wears.
First again. I heard, dried jerky and a piece of cloth.
Yeah, just ragged bits of cloth, which you assume he uses as an undercoat for this arm.
Yeah, anything that I find, I'll put on a plate for anyone that may need the food. Obviously, I don't. And
We'll say theoretical plate, because there is no plates, but yes.
And just tend to Spellix's wounds, much like a jailer does to inmate kind of thing at the moment. Obviously, with him being in there, but still tending to him.
Yeah. So as you're doing it, he kind of like starts dazing off, and then you start attending to one of the bigger wounds on the side of his chest, and he kind of like and just kind of like just kind of like keeps going in and out of consciousness of it. But there's you find a few strips of jerky which would count as a ration, so that wouldn't be an issue for if anybody needed that. Jackal, you've prepared the body. Athena is by you. What are you up to?
Cool. Yeah. Jackal will then walk in to the cabin with everyone else, with Athena. He'll give a gentle nod to Sentry Saya, not even laying eyes on Spellix.
Yeah.
And he'll find a cozy corner and start to settle down.
Jackal's cozy corner.
Cozy corner. Just to put this in more of a cinematic way, because I like to do it. Oakland, as you're walking up towards Jackal and Athena, you can just see the kind of flicker of the brazier just hitting the side of his face, as it kind of brings even more emotion to this kind of like scene of his basically holding this body that's wrapped up and mummified in these different items of clothing, as he just strolls towards this dark cabin area as the brazier kind of like flickers in and out, and you kind of get images of the dark. And yeah, it's kind of quite a dramatic scene, let's just say, as he opens and exits the door and goes through. And you all make your way into the cabin, and you all literally just possibly take a sigh of just a pause if anybody's doing anything. But if not, we can...
I'm going to walk over to Sentry.
Okay.
They're not on him. And I'm going to get one of the strips and put it in Sentry's hand, and just
Fuck your chicken strips.
keep walking over to Jackal, and I'm going to go onto the floor. What's Jackal doing right now?
Jackal is settling down. Not quite going to sleep yet, but he's sort of keeping to himself. One hand sort of on his blade, the other hand pressing and looking after Athena.
Okay, she's going to go onto her knees and may I? And she's going to reach for your blade.
You get a very confused look, but Jackal gently moves his hand away from his blade.
And I'm going to take his blade. I'm gathering it like your favourite blade. I don't know. I'm just going to grab your blade. She's going to sit down, and with the rest of the material, she's going to tie it into like a nice bow at the pommel of the blade and like pass it back to him.
You see Jackal almost pause for a second as his eyes almost fixate from the floor to the ribbon on the edge of his blade, as he puts it back properly in its sheath again, and then in your head you'll hear,
Thank you.
I just give a silent nod, and I'm going to lean against it and just give out a big sigh, because she's covered in blood and she's battered, bruised, and she's done for the day.
You see just slump and just in this not pool of blood, but she's got like blood across her face, like in her eye, like it's skewering her vision a bit, and you can kind of see on all of her clothes it's kind of splattered a bit. Yeah, she's looking in bad shape, and she kind of like probably holds one arm, and she's kind of just there, just trying to regain some consciousness. Yeah.
The cloth that was put in Sentry's hand probably wouldn't have realised what it was, and so he's tended to Spellex's wound with it, and so it's probably wrapped around one of his arm wounds as he was looking for cloth. Didn't find any.
Brilliant.
What a fucking arsehole.
You see that? Yeah, absolutely. That would have happened in character, yeah. Useful. If that's everything...
Salvation getting another heal off, baby. Even
basically, yeah, essentially.
Oh,
That's cute.
that's actually
That's
quite
right.
nice.
Mhm.
She probably want it that way, let's be honest. So, as you guys, one by one, just kind of like, you see eventually the braziers outside start to give way as they're not being fueled anymore. The kind of, you see the flicker of fire just starting to keep down, and I'm guessing you without dark vision are using your light sources at the moment, or if you want to see, or you've got some light sources. I think Athena's got a lantern still on her, so just the flickering of a cowbell lantern is just kind of just lighting the room, kind of giving obscure visions of these like rotten meat bits, just giving weird shadows on the walls, and it's quite a cold and dusky area to be in, and you can hear through the cracks in the wood just the wind just basically pounding against these structures as you one by one find yourself drifting off to sleep.
I will say sorry. Obviously, I don't sleep, so
Everyone but Seth.
I'll have at least got some. Oh no, the doors are barred, aren't they, from our side?
Yes. No, the one towards
smashed
you
them
is
open.
on the outside.
On the outside. Okay. That one then. That's towards the outside. I would have put a table or chair or whatever it is
You can
against the
find
door
ornaments,
to place it.
You can find ornaments.
But the other
to
one,
jar
lock
it.
it.
Yeah, the other one you can bar from the back. Yeah.
Wicked. Yeah. And then Sentry would have put himself in centerpiece of room again and
Lamp.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's it.
So sleep for the first 4 hours, and then after 4 hours she'll wake up because she'll probably be exhausted. So
Because with you, it's 4 hours of meditation and 4 hours of deep sleep. Isn't it?
no, it's just 4 hours of meditation.
Oh, 4 hours of meditation.
That's it.
Okay, cool.
I
Brilliant.
only sleep for 4 hours, but I'm going to do that first this time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You can do that, no problem. Saya, yeah. I mean, you fall asleep instantly, I think. It's one of those without issue. Being just in a mildly comfortable position, as well as Jackal leaning against Athena. That is where we're going to take a very quick break. So we'll be back when the party comes back unconscious. In consciousness. 3, 2, 1, go! We're back. Hello. It's been 5 seconds for everyone else, but I don't even know I said it.
Don't need to say that.
We're back. Hello, guys.
Right.
Yes, we last left our party resting in the cabin area of the once owned by Spellix, now not sure who it's owned by, but within the north side of the Karkarock fortress, as our party battered, taking a beating, thank you, are now resting their wounds and stopping for the night after a very traumatic and emotional turn of events over the last few hours. So, I will say, for the purposes of this, we all see our party kind of one or another making their way to some sort of slumber, whether it be meditation, whether it be sleep, as you see Spellix kind of like dreaming, and you kind of see like a kind of like snoring and talking in his sleep. Everyone who does sleep, I would like them to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Oh.
Where? Where? Where?
Saving throw, yeah.
Yes, please.
5.
7.
15.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
R.I.P.
We die in our sleep.
15 was actually the DC.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Oh.
Saya and Jackal,
Mhm.
you find yourself kind of just resting and taking the day's events, and possibly Jackal, you more so take it a little bit more in your stride. It takes you a little bit longer to come to some sort of peaceful sleep. And you do fall asleep, and you do find yourself falling asleep. Does that before this happens, Oakland, are you doing anything while you're doing your meditation, or are you just going straight into it?
I'm just going straight to my 4 hours, so I'll have 4 hours, and after 4 hours I'll wake up and just, I don't know, sentry away, I guess.
Okay, so you just do this. I mean, this is now basically just a kind of very quiet and calm space. But for Saya and Jackal, you close your eyes and you find sleep, and the dreams that you do dream, comfortable or not so comfortable, suddenly become blank, as in there is nothing there. You go from a picturesque scene of whatever it was to just nothing. And then, almost simultaneously, you don't know this, but both of you both see just a blue orb. It's kind of like turquoise in colour, kind of a baby blue, in this dark space, just emerge in front of you. I'll ask you one by one. Saya, are you doing anything?
Before, this is probably a stupid question. Are these our own individual dreams, or do we see each other?
So at the moment, do you want to take a look around?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, make a perception check.
I shall. Perception. 22!
22, you look around. Just you.
Damn it!
This dark
What a
void
waste.
of just space.
I'm going to walk towards the blue.
You're going to get up and walk? Okay, you get up and walk. Jackal, what would you like to do?
Jackal takes a quick glance over his shoulder.
Okay, make a perception check.
Perceive it.
12.
A 12. Look over your shoulder, just black. The only thing you can see in this kind of like nondescriptive room, there is no gloss or sheen to the floors or walls. It is just this orb of blue energy just straight ahead of you.
I will slowly walk over to the ball.
Okay, so you both slowly make your way over. As you do, very slowly make your way over, both of you, in separate circumstances.
There's a pick on the floor.
You begin to walk towards this blue, kind of like humming light. It's just very slowly, just very, very slowly. And as you become 20 feet, 15 feet, and you just very slowly make your way.
Yeah.
Saya, you see from this blue form a silhouette of Jackal. Jackal, in this blue form, you see a silhouette of Saya.
I'll put out my hand, just like that.
Okay. Jackal, you see this figure just put out its hand. Like
What the fuck? We're linked.
And at the moment,
Yeah,
what you
cool.
can see is just a black void, but around it is just a silver, sorry, not silver, a bluish lining of this figure. Just this orb is now kind of erupted and just morphed into the shape of Saya, and it's now reached its hand out.
I'm gonna just say Jackal.
Okay, you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens on his side either.
Jackal,
I'm gonna put my hand back down, by the way.
you see this hand
I
retract.
will. Oh. Yeah, I go to grab the hand, then suddenly seeing his hand retract, I sort of move back for a second. But I then move forward, and I very carefully and gently put my hand on Say's shoulder.
Okay.
I'll do the same for him as well. Put my
So you're
hand
going
on
to
his
try
shoulder.
and put your hand on this silhouette shoulder.
I'll do the same as well. For the silhouette version of Jackal.
Okay. And as you do, and your hands kind of like cross each other in this kind of flipped alternate reality, as you see this hand just go towards you and you see this hand go towards you. As soon as your hands collide, you see this just ball of flash and both of your figures just disappear from opposite ends. So you don't see, say you don't see Jackal anymore. Jackal, you don't see Sayo. Just ball of energy flies up straight into the air. So now you've got 20 feet above you, roughly, it's just this ball just hovering. And it's just quibbling and expanding. And just, this blue is just acting erratically in different ways, just thrumming and hobbing and just... Are you doing anything?
20 feet in the air, I can't really reach that. I'm gonna look around, see if the void's changed at all.
Okay, look around, make a secondary perception check for me.
Yeah. I'm very confused. 19.
Jackal, with eyes watching, will look up at it and slowly start to walk backwards, keeping eyes on it, but trying to create some distance.
So you're walking backwards,
walking back.
Just, yeah, looking around. Say you just see this orb. And then...
It's just an orb.
As you're both...
Yeah, I'm gonna back up too.
As you're both kind of backing up, it's... And it just goes... Shoop, and it stops. And it almost... You see it, you swear, spin on its axis. As it... You swear it has a face or a front. And it just looks... Almost, if it were an eye, it would look straight toward your form. And you both hear, at the same time, in your minds... I will find
Sayer's gonna draw his sword.
Yeah, you draw your sword, yeah? Jackal?
He's just gonna shout, "Who are you?"
Okay, you shout that. Jackal, what are you doing?
Jackal puts his hand on the hilt of his sword in its sheath, but doesn't draw it yet, and just fixes pierced eyes at this orb.
Okay. You wait just a beat, and you both have your blades at ready. Almost you can't see each other. But this just happens simultaneously, and you have no idea that the other is having the same experience. And you just wait a beat, and you just have this floating orb, and you just hear secondary just warp through your mind. The night will be eternal. And you kind of just hear that run straight through your brain.
I'm not gonna do anything after that. He's just gonna keep standing there on guard.
Yeah. And just before you see just Twitch look towards you, you see it kind of shrink, and then shrink and shrink until it gets to the size of a small tennis ball. That keeps going, and one by one, in each other's dreams, you hear each other's name. So in your dream, say you hear, Sega, and in your dream, Jackal, you hear, Buck, and then
oh yeah, I forgot his name.
And then you literally flash of white, and you are startled awake.
At the same time,
At the same time. Now we are back in the room, of which Oakland and Sentry, you both see this. Saya and Jackal have just come out of this cold sweat, literally eyes open. Like, I'm guessing some of you have your hand on your dagger or blade or whatever you've got closest to you.
I would be like that.
What do you do?
I'm gonna look over at Jackal, just like Star, like what? I'm not gonna say anything though.
Okay.
Jackal. So you start to hear a voice ring in your head. That's it.
Okay.
The other guys are awake, aren't they? So obviously,
Yeah, I'm
obviously
just
keep awake.
confused.
Okay.
Looking back and forth at you two.
Can we tell if it's like morning now, or is it still nighttime? Did we like wake up in the middle of the night?
The time is.
I was gonna say. if you say this out loud. It's not morning just yet. We're looking roughly around maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's just before.
Sayers is just gonna lie back and just try and get back to sleep again.
Okay. Jackal? Sentry? At this point, you both see just collapsed in front of you, just chained up against the wall. Just Spellix, just flat out still. And then the rising and falling of Athena's stomach, just sleep.
What time, sorry, did you say it was again? Sorry?
Approximately, let's say, 4:20 because of the stupid feet.
Yeah, your one keeps cutting out as well. Lol, did all that and it keeps cutting out. 4:20 in the morning, was that?
Yeah,
yeah.
4:20 in the
Okay. Cool. Yeah, knowing that they probably will need some more sleep, Sentry will still stay in Centerpiece. Yeah, how long would it have been then through the rest, sorry?
So you guys would have bed down roughly maybe just after 9, 10. After everything appeared and sorting all the barrels out and just after waiting around.
I get my long rest then.
You
6.
would. Yeah, it's
Yeah, cool.
6 hours-ish, yeah.
Wicked. Alright. Yeah, knowing that they probably need a little bit longer. They don't seem sporadic. I'll leave it be for the minute and Spellix sleeping as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you just let each other sleep, yeah. Cool. Who else is doing what, or are you just falling back asleep again?
I'm just going to keep an eye on Jackal. Just watch him all night.
Yeah, you can do that, no problem.
I think Oakland wouldn't. She'd be a bit spooked out that they both woke up at the same time, but it wouldn't surprise her after the day we've had
Uh-huh.
if they had like bad nightmare or something. So she wouldn't be bothered.
Okay, make a quick insight check. Why not?
Okay.
Are we
Inside.
lying?
No, just reading more into the waking up.
Yeah.
With
No.
24, this is completely out of the ordinary for Jackal. This isn't a normal wake up. This is a cold sweat nightmare wake up.
Okay. Is Jackal cutting him back up to sleep?
Jackal?
He's watching Saya. He watches him for about 20 seconds as he sees him curl up and go back to sleep. And once he sees that Saya seems to calmly start to try and enter sleep again, Jackal will begin to lay down and go to sleep.
Okay, you can do that, no problem at all.
I'll take the cloak off that I have. Yeah, it's pretty crappy, and I'll put it over Jackal.
Okay, Jackal, you've now got a cloak over.
And then that's it. I'll just keep an eye on both of them all night along with Sentry.
Amazing. So we've got the 2
Remainder.
sentries now. And we continue the rest of the rest. Uneventful. And the dusk does come. As it is never fully daylight in this Icewind Dale. As you can see, just through peering through the cracked door, of which once, say you remember, you threw a sword through, or attempted to. As the peephole, you can just see the gaze of dawn wakes you up amongst your party members, and you can all successfully have a long rest.
Woo! Hey.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Even Spellix.
Oh well. I think Sayers kind of wake up, kind of like thankful, like, oh, okay, that night.
No, I'm just double checking that mine wasn't working.
You okay, Luke? It's just all we're doing.
Mine keeps freezing. I don't know why.
You're just shit.
Anyway, Maybe it's the location you're saying it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he wakes up kind of thankful that he didn't have the nightmare again, and he's just gonna get up and see if anyone else is awake.
Okay, you stand up.
Yep.
The rest of you wake up at a similar time. I would say Jackal, you wake up, and Spellex does as well, roughly at the same-ish time. As you kind of
I'll
see.
put on my winter clothes.
Yes. Thank you for reminding yourself that you need to do that, which is fine. We haven't done that in a while.
it would take mana off. Yeah, seeing them stay back awake again. Your sleep, was it restful?
You're asking Spellex this?
No, sorry, to Sarah and Jackal.
Yeah, it was fine. I just want to get out of here as soon as I can. Not to sound like Spellex. I would rather do that.
I heard that.
Oh, fuck off, you 4-foot dickhead.
Excuse me.
You tried to run away from us once.
I tried to do the natural
one
thing
too
and
many.
flee. It was a thing that anyone would have done in my predicament.
Yeah, whatever. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, Oakland would just get up and start packing up.
Okay.
Getting ready to go.
Absolutely, you can do that.
Wipe the blood off her, but yeah.
Yeah, all of you feel much more refreshed today than you did yesterday. And you can see that Spellex's arms is kind of like gesturing towards the arms. Wish I would have left me free. Can I go now?
How do you feel this morning, Spellex?
Oh, I feel as sprightly as I ever could. I mean, I'd feel better if my arms were free.
Do you understand what I was saying now?
Yes, I do. I do. And I will come with you to whatever you need to do to get whatever money is guaranteed to you, I assure you. You can have that. Obviously, I need to leave now because we have the opportunity and we're still in this rotten place.
And I'll just for him to stand up, take the chain out from under the table, excuse me, and unbind his torso and arms,
Okay.
and begin raveling the chain back into my back, back right shoulder. Yep, and start chaining it all the way back in again.
Yeah, you see just like a Mary Poppins effect where he just kind of puts all this chain back into the back console of Sentry's pack. As Spellex kind of like shakes it off and goes,
Now, what was all that about? You could have just asked me to stop rather than tackle me.
Oh, can we stop arguing and get the fuck out of here? She rubs
Please.
her head.
I would love nothing more, but I'm waiting for you because otherwise I'm afraid I'm going to get bitten again.
I don't care. Move your ass and get out.
yes, my lady, I will. And he opens the door and starts walking out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go after.
Out behind him.
Well,
Yeah, make sure that we've got everything all together and sorry as well, Fraser. I was going to say, obviously I get the 6 hours over and done, but could I have checked I'm pretty sure we probably already looked around the whole place, have we? If we haven't, then
your investigation.
I'll have given.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say otherwise just looking for anything of any value in this area if there was anything rather than food and cloth.
Make a quick investigation check. Why not?
16.
With a 16, you go back within Spellex's chambers and just curling around where the egg once was, because obviously the egg is still floating around by you, Oakland.
Not anymore.
Oh, isn't it? Is it dropped now?
No, it's probably just dropped in the room.
Okay.
But
So,
I will spend the morning to recast it.
okay, I will say, just for flavour, midway through that night, you just hear it's just kind of like just dropping on the floor.
Oh my god, that's what we're
That's what woke it up. Yeah. Anyway, no.
That's why we woke.
It would have been a gentle thing. It wouldn't have been a. It would just been a.
Yeah, I would recast it this morning to take it with me.
And then you just see it float back up. Yeah, you can do that, no problem. Yeah, you kind of see where the egg once was, and you can find, I think that's 4 silver and 16 copper pieces.
Oh, nice.
Just hiding in a tucked away pile under a small bag, you find a small bit of money.
Cool. Yep. Cool. Wicked. Yeah, and that would have just been the last bit of the night and gone back in and woke up. So I'll leave now.
This
Yeah.
was tucked up under a corner, right where his kind of tinkering tools were. You can kind of see where the parts of bits of armor have broken off, and he's repaired things, and you can see where he's been tinkering with. But this was just a satchel underneath.
Yeah. Does it look like the tinkering stuff for the armaments? Is it stuff for a like a smithy tools kit?
No, it's basically what you see is kind of like small, intricate, kind of like makeshift tools that are made for, you would assume, winding up. I mean, make an intelligence check just to see what more you know.
Yeah, because I know you said that he made bits and bobs. 16.
16 with a 16, you can.
With a -1.
You've heard in your past, and when you were once working for somebody else, you have heard of the clockwork and tinkering accessories. Back then it was a lot more rustic, but this is more of a modern version of how clockwork would work. And you could see that maybe there's some sort of thing that you dial, a chime, where you can maybe dial some sort of working of cogs, a series of cogs, and you can see like bits of makeshift. And it's all very weird. It's obviously attempted some things here and not really been successful.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll head on out then in morning as well then.
Okay, cool. You can do that, no problem. So, Spellix just walks out, dislodging your rampart. What did you block the door with? Just out of interest.
A table or a chair, whichever one I could have found to
He
block
kind of
it.
just shifts it out of the way. If you don't stop him, he does move it.
Yeah, move it out. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So he moves the table out, and you walk out of the room, and he kind of like takes a breath of fresh air and goes,
Shall we leave this absolutely dire place now, please?
"Come on, let's go." And he just walks.
I would have known those barrels were full of blubber,
Yes,
right?
you would.
I'm gonna stick my head in. I'm gathering Jackal's still in there.
Jackal?
He is.
Okay, you see Jackal there?
Have you got a plan with these barrels?
We'll see. Just head on outside.
I can light them up for you.
It's alright, I've got that covered.
And she'll nod and walk off.
Okay.
Cool.
No worries. So you make your way back outside. Yeah, everyone resides outside of the cabin area. Jackal, I'm guessing you stay in just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure to be one of the last ones out.
Yeah, Athena kind of stands at the door because I'm guessing you would have told her to make her way out.
Huh?
So yeah, you have the place to yourself. Everyone starts walking towards the gate. I'm assuming Spellix leads the way.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. And I'll make sure Woober's body is with me because I don't want him involved in this. And I'll take it there's torches on the wall, which is causing the room to actually be lit.
There's not really any torches on the wall. No.
Okay, that's fine. I will continue out this way then to where the braziers are.
Yes.
Braziers, whatever
Brazier,
you
yeah.
want to call them. Brazier.
Where the women's partial underwear section is. Yeah, the braziers. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And once everyone continues walking,
I'm not moving the token, but I'll just be walking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
suppose we don't need to move it. Yeah.
No, it's fine. We can understand where you go.
Yeah.
cool. And once everyone's clear, Jackal's going to tell Athena to gather over with the others by Spellix. And once everyone's clear, Jackal is going to kick over one of the open fires.
Okay, make a strength check. Because these things are big, cast iron brazier.
Can I help him and give him advantage?
You absolutely can.
We've walked off, haven't we?
17.
That's a
17.
save.
Yeah, make a
Yes, sir.
strength check.
Oh, check.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You still got advantages, so it's alright.
Okay.
That was good.
I would say for the narrative purposes, you kind of like push it. Yeah, nothing.
Wait, do we have any torches? We could just get a torch out of one of our things. And...
You should have torches in your back.
Yeah, I think I should have one.
Actually, that's a good point. I completely forgot about that.
If you've got an
Do you want to
adventurous
use
kit,
one?
you should have a torch.
Or do you want both of us to use one?
I do indeed. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, there you go.
It's alright. I will light a torch
Okay, you light a torch on the brazier, no
and I
problem.
will drop it in.
And
the...
you drop
I've completely
it.
forgot I had them. Yeah,
It's
I will
fine.
launch that
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
I will drop it.
So you drop your torch straight in, and just like in a cinematic style, you see the kind of just very slowly trickling towards the end. Are you doing it outside the door or inside the door?
I would have laid the barrels of whale blubber all sort of scattered across the place, so closest towards the nearest barrel of whale blubber.
Okay, so it's pretty much where you stay.
Start a big fire.
You put it in the back, and you just literally just drop it right by the barrow, and it takes a second, but you kind of just see it crackle and burn, and you just see the barrow just start to go black and cinder as you see the embers just kind of, and you just see it immediately. The bottom of the barrel just kind of gives way, and you see it go, and the whole floor just gives way to a big blaze. Are you running out, obviously?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for narrative purposes, you make all your way, you make towards the gate, and as you do for this, I would say that everyone is pretty much towards the gate, as kind of Spellex kind of turns around and goes, "Oh, I didn't see that coming."
I don't think anyone did.
Well, you obviously moved the whale blubber for a reason. I wasn't going to say anything, but yes. I mean, it was my home, so I'm kind of upset, but I'm not anymore, because I'm leaving. And I'm so happy he's saying this as he's walking out.
Because I'm leaving!
Yeah, insight check with the black.
Okay, make an inside check, yeah, real quick.
That's a 21.
Yeah, he sounds truthful. Very chirpy.
Alright. Let's get out of it.
Okay. Amazing. So, we all find ourselves outside, finally, after how many episodes in here?
It's been like 5 episodes.
At least. We find ourselves back towards, I'm just going to pop you all on the main map a second.
Don't even go there. The mines of Vandelver Cave. Oh.
Oh, just don't. That
What you mean the end of the campaign piece? Yeah.
I got the main
so
map.
long.
Been
that
so
was a
long.
stressful time in itself. I know, yeah. Okay.
Let's make our way back. Woo!
So-
Bam,
My way downtown.
bam, bam.
I've just noticed some of these things I need to just change again. For some reason, I moved to the layer. Wrong layer. Just bear with.
Princess Leia. Ooh. Go down.
I mean, that's definitely a thing.
I need to show you guys the video called like every Disturbed song, and it's so fucking funny. Just sums it up so well.
So I'm just labelling up all of the stuff. For some reason, it just put it all back on the wrong layer.
Hey, nice.
Just labelling up everything that you do know.
Might be when it reset Discord with the update in it.
Yeah, it did.
Come on, get down with the sickness. The sickness.
And you also know where Revel's End is as well. Okay, cool. So we're all back and up to date where we need to be. Fantastic. So, you guys are currently towards the spine of the world down the south. As you start making your way out of the cosy and unforgettable, and sometimes thinking about it, traumatic experience.
Cozy?
Yeah, well, I was going to say this is all sarcasm.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, you haven't been there that long in game time, but in adventure time, yeah, absolutely, we've been there for a few sessions.
Fucking hours.
Yes. And as you guys kind of like make your way to the entrance and some of the slight slopes of rock and kind of like shorter, narrow passageways through the mountain pass, you can just kind of all just get this cold chill on the back of your neck as you're leaving not only a place, but also a friend and someone who is no longer with you on your travels. As Athena does the double tap looking back every now and again, and Jackal, you feel this within her and her feelings and how she is at the moment. And the rest of you kind of like walk simultaneously by each other and just kind of give each other a reassuring nod and a look, and just basically you've got to carry on. That's the aim. And you kind of make your way down towards some of the rocky areas. You're now traversing downhill and travelling out of the mountain pass and starting to slowly make your way down to the bottom through some jagged edges of cliff and dirt and snow. Are you guys doing anything on your small journey down?
Yes. Where I'm going to look around, see if there's any sort of nice spots.
What's a nice spot? What does that look like?
An area that doesn't look like shit.
Okay.
Great description, dude.
So, I mean, just to kind of put this in the scene, you've got Woober in hands, obviously all wrapped up. And at the moment, Spellix is kind of like walking with you, but kind of maybe 10, 20 feet away from you, just kind of doing a very large stretch every now and again, and just kind of like taking it in, over dramatically being like, well, this is lovely, isn't it? As you look around, Jack will make a quick perception check.
Yes, sir. Jackal gets a 12.
With the 12, you find, I'd say, about 20 minutes into this kind of like descent down from this mountaintop, you see a few alcoves knocking in and out in the middle of the mountain. So what you're looking at is towards the center of the mountain. And you see just maybe a few smaller caves, not like where you could fit in, but almost the size you would say for something small to hide. Maybe it's about 2 feet by 2 feet. Some nooks.
Yeah, that sounds perfect to me. Jackal is just gonna slightly go off course with Athena into this little nook.
Yep.
And he's going to kneel down and place Woober onto the snow, and he's then going to start piling up snow either side of Woober, and start to cover him over.
Yeah, and you take a beat, you do that. The rest of the party, you see Jackal sheer off, I would say, to the left-hand side towards the middle of the mountain. It's just a small nook of stone and some embankments of rock. He's just gone over there. Are you doing anything?
Just cross my arms and wait patiently.
Okay.
I'm keeping my eye out for owls in the sky.
Okay, very specific about these owls. So you see Jackal, it takes a few minutes, you just wait on, and Spellix kind of like gives a bit of a huff, and you see him kind of like doing patrol backwards and forwards. And you wait for Jackal and he comes back. Yeah. And you start walking towards him, Jackal, or do you carry on doing what you're doing?
Sorry. So walk towards who?
So you've just buried Woober. Are you walking back towards?
Oh yeah. And then I will very quickly, with my rusty dagger, actually, with my Harper dagger,
Okay.
I will unsheath it from almost like a hidden part of my cloak, and in just one of the rock faces, I'm just gonna carve in the words for Woober on one of the walls.
Okay.
Before sheathing my dagger, and then I'll walk back.
So it doesn't take that long. Jackal just literally just scratches into the side of this mountain, finds a flatter surface, and just writes the word for Woober on this side. Do you write it in common or do you write it in another language?
That is a very thank you, Mr. DM. That's a good point. I haven't even thought about my other languages.
The DM has.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it in Halfling.
Okay.
I think.
Does anybody else speak Halfling? Let's go back a sec. You have no idea what Jackal's just written.
No.
He's just written a load of scribbles and swirls on this rock side.
Yeah.
Okay. And he makes his way back towards you. Am I right in saying you walk back towards the pie after you take a
Do yeah.
So you take a beat and he kind of like rights himself and walks straight back towards you guys as you continue your descent down towards the bottom. And it doesn't take that long. It took a few hours to get to where you are now. You are about an hour and a half into this journey-ish. The cold is literally slapping against your face. You feel your eyes kind of like burning from the singeing cold, except for Oakley. And the rest of you just kind of like huddling up warm next to anything you can find. I would like everyone who isn't cold resistant to make a very quick survival check, just for now.
Survival check.
Nice. That's new.
You will all notice, though, that Willow is very sluggish this morning. More than she usually is, especially battering against the cold. She's very sluggish.
Sluggish how?
Like, she's just very slow and tired. And usually she's not so tired.
And sluggish.
Sorry, as in, sorry, physically or like?
Physically, you
talking,
can
or?
see that she's like, she looks exhausted and she's kind of dragging her heels a little bit.
The throughout the night, DM, everything seemed fine with the meditation, did it?
Yep.
Nothing out of the usual
anything?
for.
Anything out of the usual? No crazy slinging tendrils coming out the floor? Not this time, anyway.
Would I be able to, obviously seeing that she's been sluggish for a little while, make a medicine check or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Over a course of time or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say because of the hour, you know how she traverses in the snow, and she's falling over things that she shouldn't fall over, and kind of like almost collapsing and getting her kind of like bearings again. And it's almost like she's got a big weight on her.
Yeah.
Do I need to make a medicine check? Sorry.
Make it roll a medicine check. If you want to check and see what's going on.
Yeah, just from trying to perceive it. Oh, that's 5.
With a 5, she's just looking a bit lazy to you.
Okay.
I mean, you can clearly see something's going on, but you think it's due to laziness or just tiredness from the fight. Yeah.
Oh. People fatigue. Wicked. I got a 20 on survival as well.
Yeah, I've noted all your survival checks, so thanks so much.
Oh, wicked. Yeah.
You all make your way towards now the base of the mountain, and it's now about 2.5 hours-ish. You're getting slightly colder and colder as you're going down. Just to remind you, Ollie, I think you still have the stones. So just to put it out.
Yes.
Just in case.
Sure.
I'm not saying use it, I'm just saying you have it. Okay?
Yeah. I normally put it out when other people ask me to be fair. Stay as a bit.
As you kind of go towards the base of the mountain, you get colder and colder, and it is now bone-chillingly cold. And I would just like to hear from every single one of you who don't have cold resistance. How are you keeping warm during this time?
I'm gonna use my right real quick.
Okay.
My flame right
Yeah,
on my
you can do
sword.
So you
Let
just
me roll blood melody.
put your
on
right
my
to flame up, your flame goes up on your sword, yeah.
Take 2 damage.
Amazing.
That's how I'm keeping warm.
Jackal.
I will be, as normal, of course, wrapping up as tight as I can in winter clothes, and riding Athena with her big, fluffy, what would you call it?
Mane?
Not mane. The thing that was made for her.
Oh, her
The
saddle.
Yeah, saddle thing. Yeah, I'd imagine that would give off some warmth and things like that.
The wolfskin saddle, yeah.
Yeah, snuggling into that as well as Athena's light fur and mane and everything else to keep warm.
Okay, cool. Sentry.
Oh. Okay, there I'm back. Sentry, when he's wandering, just through sheer force, pushing the snow out of the way in his wake, keeping himself warm through physical movement, but also whenever the temperature continues to get lower and the joints start getting more tense and harder to move,
Seizing, yeah.
more fur is pushed out of the joints and crevices. So more of the winter warm
Yeah, so
clothes.
you're just keeping yourself warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good to know. And you finally all reach yourself at the bottom towards the mountain where you came through. This familiar entrance of these boulders that are misplaced become more scattered, and the familiar snow of the tundra, of the waves and the bumps of this endless amounts of snow become more apparent as you now are at the bottom of this mountain, finally, as you see a final stretch from Spellix as he goes, well, I've seen this place quite a lot, but not with you guys, and especially with no one following me. So he kind of turns around and looks individually and goes, well, I suppose I can take this off now. Kind of like starts buckling all the armour and starts throwing it away as he's walking.
The armaments, Spellica, you not need them any longer for the journey. They keep you warm.
No. You can see underneath he's got some sort of like leather tanned coat underneath. And he kind of goes, well, these are just holding me down, my boy. I can't be wearing these all the time. I'm no longer a goblin.
But don't blame us, they have no protection.
Where will you end up after our visit to Grimshanda?
Well, I was hoping you'd take me back to Brimshander, actually. That's where I was hoping we could go. I hopefully have a few contacts left there. Possibly some family, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I was there last. But nonetheless, I'm quite a nimble gnome, and I can make use of my talents there and probably make some gold on the way. Besides that, I'll probably see myself. I don't know. Why? Who do you know in Brimshander?
We are going back to speak to the Grimshanda speaker.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll probably introduce me at some point.
We will need to. The deal was for the peace treaty that you'd sent Woober to the speaker, but we need to report back there with you, and then from there we can ensure that we know what's happening for future endeavours. Other than that, we just stay by us, Felix.
Oh, yes. Well, Woober was obviously our messenger. You've obviously found this place and got captured on the way in, I believe, from so I'm told. But he did his job. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, would I? But what were the terms of your payment? How do you get paid? You said priest treaty. We haven't got one.
I've got her out. Bum, bum, bum. Can you still hear me, even though it's got out?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Now I'm back.
Me.
That's really weird. That's so stupid at the minute. Bloody connection stuff. Sorry, what was it that you were saying?
Okay. So
Yeah,
he basically goes, well, you see, Woober's done his job, otherwise I wouldn't be here. That's just, obviously something he's done right in his life. But you said something about a peace treaty. Where is this peace treaty? And obviously we need to make sure you get paid.
The treaty's no more, but I
Don't we still have
suppose you're right. Are you able to? No, we won't want to give a false pretense. Otherwise, say for a future need, the lady would presume that the goblins are still there for aid.
You kind of just walk in at this point. You're both just on the track.
Yeah.
You're all heading towards with the back where you can.
May I just mention, we could just say the only agreement for the peace is if we relocated them, and then we say they left, in a way. I guess that's the only other option.
And how are you going to prove that, dear?
I don't know, you ask me, you're the leader.
I'm not a leader, I'm a false leader. I'm just a gnome. I'm just pretending. It's all an act. It's what I do. In fact, I love acting. It's something I've been really interested in. I'll probably take that up when I get back.
The papers, Jackal. What did it say on them?
Did I have them?
I believe you did. Either that or Tundra. Oh, I mean, I don't know. It's up to you. It should be in your inventory.
It's not down in mine.
I'm pretty sure that you're the one who took the final look at it, and collected it
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Cool, that'd be my mistake.
Mr. Contract Man. It's alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that you're
In
the one
that
that
case,
would
I
have it.
will reach inside my cloak, and I will pull out the contract, and I'll just quickly skim read and read out loud the important bits of it.
Okay. And what you do read out is the part of some of the terms of the peace treaty needs to be signed, and the fact that without a signature, this document then just remains false, and the fact that the signature needs to be from Yarb Nock, the goblin leader of Cockrock.
Did it say as to what end the peace treaty would lead to?
It just ends on with the written signature and proof of signing.
Yeah. So it's literally just the factor of they wanted a signature, and the signature would just embold the fact of there would be no longer hostility between any of the trade routes, traders coming in from
you get the idea.
Yarb Nock's plan.
You get the idea it's a ceasefire, and any attempts to make will break the ceasefire would lead into invasion.
Well, if that's not the alternative we're going for, we could easily just say we went there, it was an ambush, we had to fight our way out, and then we found this prisoner, which is the gnome. Because technically you were a prisoner, so we're not quite lying.
Well,
I'm not sure if we'd quite get as much of a reward.
But then if they go there and find out we were lying, we're going to have something on our backs, and I don't want any more.
Technically, we weren't lying.
The
Down there, we got a peace treaty signed. What happened to the goblins could have been anyone. There's no way of linking it back to us, but
Fair
if we go there and say that we were ambushed, we slaughtered them all, the reward could be a lot less, because now they, the people of Bryn Shander and all the other towns have to be worried about pissing off the alliances that the goblins might have had. Or cousins, distant family, you know, that kind of vibe.
I believe if we go back to the speaker, we bring Spellix, Yardnock, Prior, and explain what happened, we will still be rewarded as to the factor of Speaker knew that it was a long shot in getting this peace treaty signed, but one way or the other it's good for them to at least know as to the lay of the land. There won't be many more large raids on the trading caravans coming through.
I don't agree with it, but it's not just down to me, it's down to everyone else.
I stand
So-
by all your sides,
Yeah.
so I'm happy with whatever.
Yeah, I really don't mind. I just don't want it biting us in the back if we do lie about it.
We did what we asked, and if we tell them what happened, we cannot be put on for that.
That's true. I think we should just tell the truth in that case.
Who is this town?
Well, I'm
speaker
happy with
anyway?
what
I
the
mean,
group goes, but hopefully,
You called her a lady. Is she a lady? Or who am I expecting? Am I not seeing her now? I'm confused.
She is very young to be a leader, but yes, I suppose.
Well,
Yes, she's a lady.
Sometimes the young make the best. Fresh ideas and all that.
A little younger than you would think, but I'm sure she's okay leader if she was wanting peace, but I'm not sure a leader that doesn't want peace.
I see. Well,
The Vessa Shane is her name, Spellix.
Professor Shane. Not heard her name on anyone's lips or tongues recently. But I'm sure, you know, it's very nice. But is there anything I can do to help? Shall I inscribe this? Do you want me to sign?
I mean, he could. I don't see why he shouldn't.
You are?
I mean, if we're going with the whole story of we're being truthful, that we went there and we killed all of them, then and say, yeah, we've got a peace treaty signed, surely that's very almost hypocritical. We killed them all and signed a peace treaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not then.
It's fine, we'll get there and let them know if they wish for it to be signed. Them either way, we still have Yardnock with us, so
Yeah.
let's just get
we'll
there.
have to tell them the original plan that we did have with Wooba. We were going to do it peacefully and have Wooba sign that treaty because he would be the new leader, but well, things happen.
He kind of like, as you say the word Yardnock, he kind of goes, not anymore. I suppose it's a good alter ego, though.
Let's
think-
just
Sorry, go on.
let's just make sure we get him back.
I'm right
Otherwise,
here, you know.
we have nothing.
I'm not a him. I'm right here. You can call me by name. I don't mind.
No.
He kind of like looks at you like expecting an answer and then just goes,
Yeah, no, it's just blank face.
yeah. So he carries on and he kind of like puts his arm out once more and kind of stretches again and kind of like basically presents these two balls of small flames. You'd recognise this cantrip as Firebolt, Oakland, and he's kind of like bringing it into his chest a little bit, warming himself up.
Are we like walking against pathways? So like loads of trees and stuff.
Yeah, so where you're walking at the moment is quite mountainous terrain. It's not like you're not like at the bottom yet. You're still out of the mountain. It's just like it's a very gentle slope now. You can see just in the distance this kind of slow swooping snowy mountainous terrain, which you can see now in the distance with this dim light, probably a few hundred feet away from you, if not maybe over 500 feet. You can see just the lake, sorry, the river that runs through, the frozen river that you once then crossed thousands of feet away over the next day or so journey. And you can see now passing just these small boulders levelling out eventually, reaching into your 3rd hour of journey now. And kind of Spelix just kind of on this journey kind of like looks back at you and goes, well, if you figure out a way of what you need to do, I'm here for it. Do they still do those sacrifices every, what is it, full moon? I think it's full moon, isn't it?
Yes.
I've heard about that, yes. It's very strange. It's not going to stop anything.
Janda is sacrifices.
Yes, well, I've heard that too. And I've seen the darn corpses that they leave scattered out on the bloody Tundra. I think it's quite ridiculous. Well, I hope you're not there tomorrow, because I believe, if my calculations are correct, it's a full moon. Tomorrow, I believe.
Is she corrected my eyes?
With keen mind, feet, I would say yes, you could understand that. Yeah,
fuck.
He is right.
Damn, I wanted to be right. Oh.
We're probably going to be resting again on the way. This is a pretty long
Yeah, the journey last time took us 2 days, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it took you 2.5 days-ish, 3 days.
It won't matter then.
You just might see it like a lonely court.
Unless you can get us there quicker, little guy. I don't think we're going to get there tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know how long it takes from here, but just keep away from there when it does, and you'll be fine, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll be there in about 2 days.
Oh, well, that's not too long, I suppose.
How far away? Whereabouts are we on our journey on the map? By the way?
I'll pop you on the see where you are.
Yeah, I can see the map.
Yeah, we're flipping the journey round now. So,
yeah, the other way.
Let me just delete these last ones.
Why am I saying Tom and Jerry?
I don't know why he's thinking that.
I don't know if there's a ping title piece for Cargrock here. Since we've now discovered it.
Yeah, looks like we are missing a few things. Oh no. No, it's just that one, yeah. Never mind.
Chapter 2.
Okay, so just for the purposes of this, let me draw you another line in another colour, because why not? So it's going to take you winding around from here through there, and I would say that is your first day.
Okay. So we're there now, right now, are we?
Not yet.
Oh.
And it goes through there, it goes through down there, and that is your second day. Roughly around there.
Okay. So where are we on this first line then?
Third day is then into Bruchon. So, currently, I'll make this little square, and I'll show you where you are. So you're now 3-ish hours into this.
Mm-hmm.
Back.
Hello.
I know.
You are roughly somewhere around here.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh.
Coming into your 4th hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's go.
Keep going.
It's taking you a bit of time to come down the mountain as you start traversing towards the river, which now becomes more apparent as you swerve in and out of this kind of larger kind of section, which is kind of a cut-off area from the mountain's restraint. And some of you, all of you, recognise this as where you stopped in the dome, as you had once traversed over this path before. As you pass this and head more towards the frozen lake, into a small bushed or shrubbed area with some trees, some kind of like half snowy, half dead trees, if you were, so it's just scattering. Sentry, you can feel free to make a investigation check around here, see if you can find anything.
Yeah.
The rest of you, are you doing anything for this part of the journey?
No, just carry on walking.
Okay. Sentry, what do you need in terms of herbs? What are you looking for?
So I've been looking for rune-bind pulses components.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much gold worth of stuff do you need?
Well, we've been traveling for over 3 hours
Yes, we
now.
have.
I get one recipe every 3 hours at regular pace, but that, so you know, the minus of the recipe for Woundbind is 20 gold pieces worth of jazz. Do you like jazz?
Okay.
Do you like jazz?
So, how much do you get every 3 hours, you say?
Enough for one recipe if we're travelling at normal pace.
Normal pace, which you are.
Yeah. Slow pace would be 2 hours, and fast pace, I cannot.
Yeah, I would say.
Get the ingredients.
I would say
Unless
for
I
this,
I'm a
you
ranger.
do get your wound bind porters back with a 21. You absolutely, you all kind of find your way into this kind of like scattered area with some trees. As you walk through this path that you've walked before, you see Sentry kind of like go away and kind of like start serpentining between this path and picking up different bits of herbs and just like scourging through to find different bits and just popping them in his pack.
It's not nice.
And as you're doing this, Spellets kind of looks at you and goes, "That's quite interesting. What are you doing there, my boy?"
The frozen herbs of the land here. My old friend, speaker, many time ago now, he taught me that they all have very good properties, many different properties depending on how you mix them together. These ones here, and I bring up some frozen together moss pieces with what looks to be a kind of slick, almost frozen, slimy set of leaves when you pull them apart. These, when you add them together with a few other pieces, can help close your wounds and others when they're hurt. It helps hold all the pieces together.
Oh, that's very interesting. I've definitely learned something new. Not one for the art of medicine, though I can make a quite handy anything mechanical if I got the right tools, I suppose. Anything small and intricate, I'm very good at them. But I suppose everyone has their own skills, and that is very interesting coming from a form like yourself to be interested in nature, and you're not part of it, am I right? You're not really nature, are you? You're more made of some sort of, not fake, but I don't know what word to use.
The material I am.
Yes, yes, exactly. Your form, my boy. What are you made out of?
I'm not sure, but whatever it was, would that not have been natural at some point?
Oh,
I'm looking at him like studying him, almost as though it sounds because he said it a couple of times now, almost like he knows the answer, and Sentry knows that he's a smart individual, so Sentry's kind of like studying him and his response now, see whether or not what he says back seems like he's trying to give it a leading question. That's the word I was going to say.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely make an insight if you want.
Yeah. Never do good on insight. 5.
5.
God damn it.
Not really much give off him. You kind of like he's interested. He's very interested in the subject, but you've no idea why. Yeah, I would say for this purposes of this and for narrative reasons, just to kind of speed things up a bit, we can go all the way towards our first destination, where you can now see the Frost Maiden is about to take her claim on the world. Well, actually, no, you would have done that a while ago. The Frost Maiden does take the claim on the world at this point. The Aurora Borealis fills the sky as the short day commences, and it is now night time, and everyone's got their light sources out, which they normally use. Am I right?
Yeah.
So they've all got their light sources out, and you continue your path. Towards the end of this journey, just this first leg, I would like everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. But in this order, I would like Saya to make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. I would like Jackal to make a Constitution saving throw, and I would like Sentry to make one with advantage. Please.
Right.
16.
16?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Fuck me.
Oh yeah.
Good one.
I got lucky there.
Yeah. Jackal, you're fine.
17.
Yep.
19.
Oh, it hasn't come up yet.
Yeah, it hasn't come for me.
So
Yeah, I got
well,
connection
yeah.
issues,
That's
yeah.
fine. So with a 19, a 17, a 16, that's pretty much in order. You all feel very, one after another, kind of like your well, each one of you feels your joints stiffen up, and you feel the cold blasting against your face and your skin or whatever form you may have, and you feel it kind of slowing your forces down, and you push on through, and you just about push through so it doesn't affect your physical form. You're fine for this point of journey. You don't take a point of exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
You
Spellix seem all fine with him as well.
he is literally just warming his form up with this kind of cantrip. He's using this flame. He's just kind of warming his body up every now and again like a blanket. But yeah, you can see there's not much to him, so it's quite easy to do because he's a small form. But yeah, you can see him like huddle up, and he's chattering his teeth, but he's not bad. You find yourself at the end of the first leg of the journey, and it's becoming to the time of where you possibly need to take a rest. Oakland, you would assume it's beginning to get about 7 o'clock-ish.
Alright.
What would you guys like to do? You find yourself in a very small alcove of this kind of flat, plateaued area of snow next to the background of this huge mountainous terrain, which is the spine of the world. Next to the northern side, you see this river frozen just as you've been walking past it. You can kind of see it disappear into the night, but you know you're there.
Yeah, it's rest here, I guess. Do it.
Cool.
Are we taking the dome and just doing a normal night?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll start setting up the dome. And once it's all done, I will let everyone in.
Okay. Yeah,
Let's sleep.
not too hard at all to do your normal nightly routine. And if anyone wants to do anything different, you kind of see as you're setting up this dome, you can see Spellix really inspecting this, kind of like he's like patting the edges and just being very like, oh, this is very interesting. Like he's very curious of how this thing works, poking his head in and out like this.
Cold.
Yeah.
Cold, yeah.
But besides that, he kind of like goes, I wish I would have known how to do this earlier. I have certain techniques, but I definitely can't do that. That's very special.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank you for keeping me warm. I've been trying to keep myself warm all this time, but I suppose it's a trick we used to. And let's be honest, I used to warm the plate stuff. That used to be something, but I can't be bothered wearing them anymore because it reminds me of bad times. So, yes, it's nice to be free and in this dome. Thank you so much.
Give a little nod.
And you find yourself again resting down for the night if you don't want to do anything else.
I'm going to look at Saya. And I'm going to whisper in his ear. Do you mind if I try something?
Depends what it is.
I'm just going to meditate for a little bit.
Don't you always do that?
This time it's going to be slightly different.
Okay, go for it.
And I'm going to start my meditation.
Okay.
And in my mind, not trying to trigger anything, but in Abyssal, I'm going to say hello and see if I get any response.
Okay, so you're thinking that towards...
Yeah, it's all in my head.
Okay.
Just
In the
so
dome, is that?
Yeah, so I'm just sat against the edge of the dome next to Saya.
Okay, you do that and you sit down. You find yourself meditating into this conscious form or subconscious form. You're just staring into Saya's eyes as he's waiting for something to happen. You see his face just kind of like waiting on the edge of something. Like, so like
Good.
Saya,
Yes.
you hear nothing.
Dumb as fuck. Alright.
Do I hear anything back?
Nope.
Cool. It was worth a try. She's just gonna go. I was just trying something, but there's different sorts of meditation, and it's hard. She's gonna rub her eyes, absolutely exhausted,
Yes.
and she's just gonna lay back against a cold dome, and begin her sluggish meditation.
Absolutely, you can do that. And you find yourself eating your rations if you've got any. I just want to make sure you guys are knocking down your rations as you're eating them. You don't obviously have unlimited amounts. Sentry, you're fine as you don't eat. But Jackal, Saya, and Oaklin, I would like you to obviously keep on top of your rations, as a day's worth of rations is a day's worth of rations. So, go on.
Sorry, yeah, the area around, as you said, was kind of looking at the spine of the world, and a couple of like bad shrub trees are kind of in the area, right?
Some very small shrubs in this area, yeah. But yes, they're right.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm just doing what I usually do, and just keep an eye on everything around from center point, and yeah, just keeping an eye out, making sure as well to check on everyone whilst they're sleeping as well, and have a count on everyone, almost like clockwork. Like, look outside, look at Saya, look at Oakland, look at Jackal, look at yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Look at Spellix, yeah.
You're doing the sentry thing. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
just keep looking around.
Make a quick perception check for me.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
18.
Besides the odd kind of like scutter of a snow hare, and you see the in the distance a few hours on with this the kind of long rest, everyone's kind of tiring themselves and kind of trying a nice bit of sleep. You see just the odd game, the odd wolf just pass you.
Do any of them come close to the dome? Close enough to reach?
I would say the closest was the wolf, and it would be probably 50-ish feet away from you, just out of your reach of sight, just coming in and out.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
just see the silhouettes, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was only if any one of them kind of comes like right up to
yeah,
the dome's
not
edge.
not like kissing it, not touching it, yeah. They're
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Besides that, it's quite an uneventful night.
that's fine then. Yeah, just keep a watch out then.
Okay. Awesome. You guys find yourself awake again as dusk takes its place, and the morning has started again. I would like everyone who doesn't have a cold resistance to roll me a survival check, please, and let me know how you're going to keep warm on this next leg of this journey.
Not again.
Same as before for me.
Oh, 21!
9. One more than last time.
Wow.
Not on the good rolls today.
Good to know.
A crimson right.
Okay.
2 damage again. Pow pow.
No problem. So you can do that. Your flame comes up, and you see Spellix kind of like wake up and kind of biting on the edge of his jerky that he took from the room, just kind of like eating the rest of it, and goes, I definitely can't wait to get into a warm bed and some warm food down me, I tell you that for a fact. I don't know about you people.
Oh yeah, I haven't had warm food in days.
I haven't had warm food in years, my friend. I've been eating scraps and raw and all sorts of half-dead beasts that I've tried to cook, but it doesn't really work that way.
I haven't had, and Sentry just keeps walking.
Okay. I saw that hesitation.
I haven't had a. Nine.
With like,
nine.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you all start walking towards a familiar track, following the snaking trail of this frozen river, which now looks even more familiar to you as you first into your few hours. You can see just into the distance a forest area or wooded area where you and Woober were having a lovely conversation on the way here about what was it about actually?
It was teaching Sentry how.
Yes, teaching
hello.
Sentry how to
Language.
say hello. Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Roll your cock.
Right.
And it kind of
There ain't no more
overwhelms.
goblins to say that to.
It kind of overwhelms you in the fact that he's not here anymore, and the conversation that you did have. Are you guys doing anything as you're walking?
No, but Oakland's looking a lot better today.
Yes, Sentry, just keeping an eye on Oakland. You see her form has regained its posture and not so sluggish anymore.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the only thing Oakland will be doing is just keeping an eye out.
Okay.
And that's about it.
If you're keeping an eye out, make a perception check for me.
I will. That is a 13.
Okay, bear with me.
No, I will not.
Just to remind me, Jackal, who were you focusing on? Because just every morning, obviously, just make me aware of what your...
Oh, that's a good point. We're going to go for humans and gnomes.
Gnomes, okay. That's very,
Not just those pesky gnomes.
very specific.
Humans and gnomes, right? Mm.
Sentries and no.
Yeah. You do your senses, you get 2 blips. It's just like Sentry sweats profusely oil.
1 second, guys.
It's going to be another Men in Black where you just open up the back and it's just like a little gnome sat inside.
I had that as I saw that on Instagram, D&D, whatever it is, where it's like, imagine a character where you're an artificer and you're playing as a warforged pretty much, because you're like inside of the warforged, like it's a titan. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was a pretty rad idea. That's like, yeah.
So it's basically a mech.
Yes, yeah. So you're playing as sentries, like with sentry stats. Yeah, with sentry stats, but like if ever you like, you know, you want to go and take a piss, you have a tiny, like minuscule, tiny person just hop out the back and be like, a piss or something, and then climbs down, takes a piss, and gets back inside the mech.
So, Oakland, you were looking out for what, sorry?
Just keeping an eye out, walking by, pretty much nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You try to make a kind of a look around, and in your immediate vicinity you don't really see anything, and as the party kind of continues following this snaking trail of this river into this highly wooded area. What did you roll for your perception, sorry?
13.
13. Yeah, you see the odd kind of, again, just wild animal just kind of flutter around. But you enter this kind of like start to enter this wooded area, and you can kind of see these trees are becoming thicker and thicker as you continue to walk. Let's just see this passive perception. Jackal.
Yo.
Because of your high passive, you go about 20 to 30 feet into this wooded area. Whereabouts are you placed? Can I just have your marching order, just so I know where you are?
In the middle.
Middle?
Second.
Sandwich.
Sentry
We're
first?
assuming-
Up front.
With
Yeah.
Jack. Okay.
Yeah,
So
beside Jack.
You're
Yeah.
leading this, and you've been quite quiet on this journey, thinking about obviously all the events that have happened and everything that's transgressed over the last few days. And you kind of like look into the floor, you're just walking, just focusing and stroking Athena every now and again. She kind of gives you a nudge, tries to wake you up a little bit out of your consciousness. And just about 50-ish feet ahead of you, you just hear a slight, like, it's a movement of twigs and trees and things just shifting, but definitely not an animal. It's like, and it just stops. It's not like a small game or a rabbit. It's just, it's like, just because your passive is so high.
Cool. Where did you say it was? In trees ahead?
So you're following a trail now.
Oh, in
This-
bushes.
This trail is
Yep.
kind of man-made, but it's not. You can see it's traversed. And as you're exiting this kind of like tundra, this open, wide tundra, you get like the odd tree, speckled tree, and now it's becoming a little bit thicker with odd trees coming in. So you're walking into this wooded area, and about 50 feet in front of you, you heard this kind of rustling, and it stopped, and it just twigged on your ear, just thinking, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can try and get a closer look.
Okay.
Athena will go into what was like a normal walk into a slightly sped up fast walk.
Okay.
So we just scout ahead.
Yeah, so you, how far away from the party do you want to be?
Say Sam was roughly 50 meters away.
Roughly. You kind of get the area, it was just like,
Slow.
that was very strange. And then it just stopped.
I will a rough 15-20 meters.
Just whilst he's going away, have you given us a signal on? No.
Nothing yet.
No. I'll just yell out then. Jackal, is everything alright?
Silent speech to Sentry. Just keep your voice down a sec. It's probably nothing, but I'm just checking.
Is everything alright? No.
And I'll just hold my hand up and make sure that Spelek is tucked in formation, kind of behind, at least behind me, if
Okay.
not in the middle kind of spot with Willow, where
Yeah,
she
it
is.
kind of
With,
like gets shuffled about and it goes, oh, is something going on? What's going on?
Jackal's just checking up ahead. I think he heard something, but just stay here for a minute.
Oh, okay.
And
So Jackal walks ahead and you follow. Is that right? Or you keeping guard, Sentry?
oh, sorry again. I keep cutting out
Sorry.
with my connection. No, it's right. So I'll have just stopped because
Okay, you stopped.
Jackal
And
said that
Jackal
he's
stopped.
checking ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone's just kind of stopped on this trail, and you see just Jackal kind of like going up very slowly and carefully, about 15 feet ahead of you. Suddenly, who's at the back of the pack? Is it Saya? I think it was.
I was second.
Oh, second. Sorry. So Oakland. I think you were the middle or the back.
Yeah, I probably would be at the back at this point now.
You see just to the right hand side of you where this bush kind of thickens, and you see more into the trees. you see just very quickly with your passive just of this something. You have no idea what it was, but a shifting of movement. Say you see this shifting of movement. Spellix literally turns around and goes, and before he
I'm
can
going to put my hand over his mouth.
okay, and when you put your hand over his mouth, as soon as you do that, I would like Oaklin, Saya, Sentry to all make dexterity saving throws. As out of the bush, and out of the shrubbed area, you see these nets with hard stone holding, embracing that, kind of like these nets with stones on the end, just being launched across the path where you're walking.
I already had my sword out because it was how I was keeping my warning. I got a 26, so I kind of just.
Okay.
Yeah, got a 19.
Okay.
And I need to make a check, do I, or?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you need to.
Okay, cool. Data sense. Advantage. No, I didn't need it. 22. Oh, yeah.
Hey, fuck your net.
Okay. So
Yeah,
this is all happening at once. This is all happening very, very quickly. So you get all this net, these nets just get thrown straight over on the path. You see straight away that Saya sees this and kind of like parries it away with his sword. Sentry, you also see this and kind of like shunt it down and kind of stomp on it as it hits the ground. Oaklin, you get one straight down on your kind of like chest area as you're like trying to hold. Whose mouth did you hold? Sorry, was it Spellix or was it Saya?
Yeah, so it's Spellix's mouth because I thought he was going to be loud.
That's fine, and both of you hold it his mouth, and as you're doing that, both of you get entrapped in these nets. Jackal, you see this and turn round, and as you turn around, out of the bush, you see one, not one but three, not three but 5 large humanoid, green and pale skinned figures with tusks come out, arrows adorned on bows, looking at you. And they speak in this deep, taunting accent of and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Can I quickly ask what language?
Yeah,
that
can I
is?
ask what language?
Nice to know.
Yeah.
What language do you speak?
I
If
speak
it's
Elvish
anything, it'll be undercommon.
Okay, you didn't understand it?
I speak Elvish and Orc.
You understand everything, Saya.
How?
It's definitely Elvis.
As you heard,
well.
as you heard,
You never know.
just to finish this off, Saya, as you heard the words, "Get these filthy pig stains off of this land. We're going to kill them."
Nice.
I wonder if there's going to be a battle next time.
And that's where we're going to end. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please go and follow us, subscribe, all of our nice channels, Dungeon Delvers with a Z on Instagram, and obviously this channel. Please give us a like, as we shall return very shortly, and under hopefully some different circumstances, and the party can get out of this kerfuffle which I put them in again. Woohoo! Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.